What's going on, guys? Welcome to day 2 of the NFL Draft. Today, we're going to be breaking down and reacting to all the draft picks, all the draft grades, all the instant analysis you ever want. Guys, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. And if you're watching us live, comment, react with us. What are your thoughts on the draft so far? Who has your favorite draft? Who is your favorite prospect? Who are the reaches? Who are the winners? Let us know in the comments. What's up, Shane?
What's up, Dibes? I got a couple hours of sleep last night. How about you?
Maybe like 5 tops, if I'm lucky.
I was trying frantically today to do my actual job, and I quickly just stopped doing that and started cutting up video to send out and writing articles and all that good stuff, getting ready for tonight.
Yeah. So I love day 2, rounds 2 and 3 here. Where do the Eagles go? There's a lot of really good players available here in round 2. Should we just break down some of our favorite day 2 guys available, Shane?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. Leading off, I've got Andrew Booth Jr., top guy on my board, I believe. I can't believe he's still there, but a bona fide playmaker. He's fallen due to some injury issues, but for me, I think Andrew Booth Jr. would be a perfect complement outside of Darius Slay. Then I go to David Ojabo. The Eagles need to address the edge position. I like this value and where he's being selected in the second round. I think it would be a great pick to kind of bring him along slowly. And then my other guy, who's my other guy? I'm drawing a blank. Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State, a safety who can play up in the box, get to the quarterback, really good athleticism, fluid mover. Those are my 3 guys that I'm praying fall to the Eagles. Now, there's more than that, of course, but those are my top 3. Who are some of your favorites?
Yeah, so I tweeted out my top 9 guys that are available right now based off of my big board, and this is not Eagles specific. But Andrew Booth, who was number 15 on my big board, who Dibes talked about, there were some injury concerns with him that I think we've seen manifest itself as he fell out of the first round. I think he will go quickly here at the top of the second round. If he does, then I think it's probably indicative of some more medical concerns that we don't know about. But we'll see how that goes. The number 2 guy on my board here is quarterback Malik Willis out of Liberty at number 20 on the big board. I was really surprised to only see one quarterback go. As an Eagles fan, one of my biggest fears is that Malik Willis is going to go to the Giants here at 36. I think that would be a fantastic pick for them. Malik Willis is a guy that isn't necessarily ready to come in and play right now, but they've got Daniel Jones for a year, and you can give Malik Willis over to Brian Dable, who mentored Josh Allen. I love that fit. I really hope it doesn't happen. My number 3 is another guy you mentioned, Jaquan Brisker, the safety out of Penn State. He was number 23 on my big board. A guy I'd love to see the Eagles get, or the number 8 guy on my list here, Jalen Petrie, the safety out of Baylor, would be 2 targets I would love to have the Eagles get. David Ojabo, who was probably a top 15 pick before he blew out his Achilles at his pro day. I think he goes here early to some team that's maybe not necessarily a contender that wants him right away, but they can bring him along slowly. Nakobe Dean is still there, and George Pickens, both. I joked in our Discord chat that the Eagles should just go get George Pickens, and it would be grossly irresponsible with the needs that the Eagles have on defense. But just think about coming out with 4 wide receivers, right? You've got A.J. Brown, you got Devontae Smith, you've got Quez Watkins, you've got George Pickens, and then you've got Dallas Goedert. Empty the backfield, Jalen Hurts in the shotgun. How are you going to cover that? You put 6 guys in the box, we're just going to spread and shred you. You go light box, Jalen Hurts is just going to be a power runner in the running game. I don't know how you stop that, but that'd be grossly irresponsible. The Eagles can't do it, but I can dream. Number 7 would be Desmond Ritter at 33 on my big board. I think Desmond Ritter is a guy that can come in and have decent upside as a rookie. He played in a pro-style system. He's really aggressive. He needs to dial that back a little bit, but I think he can be a good player while he kind of learns on the fly. So I think he could be kind of a plug-and-play option. And then my number 9 guy was interior defensive lineman. I think DeMarvin Leal. He's kind of a tweener. It's kind of too small to be on the inside, but he's not fast enough to be on the outside. But he is a good talent if you can find a place that's a good fit for him. I tweeted a video breaking down my top 12 guys, and I said I'd love to see Leal go to the Browns where he could pass rush next to Myles Garrett. I think that would be a really good fit for him. But I did tweet out, if you're joining here, check out my Twitter feed. I've got videos for my top 12 guys that you can go and watch. They're all cut up into like 1.5 minute clips for the different players. Number 12, Breece Hall. And I say who they would be a good fit for. So go check those out if you're here in the comments and you want to dive a little more into that. But those are some of my top guys available here at the top of the second round.
We have Amadeo now saying all the wide receivers. I agree. It would. I would be able to live with George Pickens because I think he's a first round talent. I think he's absolutely sensational. A couple other linebackers to keep an eye out for is.
Real quick before you do that, let's talk about some of the wide receivers here since he mentioned them. So you've got George Pickens out of Georgia, a guy that we were pretty high on. You got, of course, Christian Watson, the burner out of North Dakota State, Sky Moore out of Western Michigan, John Metchi out of Alabama, David Bell out of Purdue. So there's some good receiver options here. You got to think the Packers are going to go take one of these. I tweeted out earlier today, I said, I'm just sitting here eating lunch and wondering what the Packers are going to do to piss off Aaron Rodgers tonight. But anyways, so yeah, let's look at the linebackers here. So that's clearly a position that the Eagles could use some help on. Here are the top linebackers left on the board right now.
Nakobe Dean, Christian Harris, Chad Muma, Drake Jackson's an edge rusher. I don't know why he's there. But those are top three names I think are pretty much across the board. Leah Chanel is a guy who has been rising up the draft boards like crazy after his unbelievable combine. His athleticism scores were off the charts. But Chad Muma is definitely a guy to look for, especially in round 3. Really like him a lot. And Christian Harris, everybody knows Christian Harris. But you look at, the top needs for the Eagles on day 2, I think those are 3 names that are very good fits for the Eagles. What about you, Shane?
Hold on, I'm going to fix Drake Jackson real quick. Okay. Let me refilter here, and he should be gone. Okay. Obviously Nakobe Dean would be a pipe dream for the Eagles. I don't see him falling that far. Yeah. He is undersized, and so there would be concerns about his ability to cover tight ends, man-to-man, bigger tight ends. There's also some concerns about him in the running game. At Georgia, it was never a problem, but, he played behind a defensive line that just had 3 guys go in the first round, so they were able to keep him clean. Quay Walker went in the first round, which shocked me, but they were able to help keep him clean, and he is really good at attacking downfield, triggering downfield. It's just, can he deconstruct those blocks? That's a question for him. Obviously would love him. And then, it's Christian Harris, Chad Muma, would love either of those guys. I'm really high on Brian Asamoah out of Oklahoma. Surprise. I've got him ahead of Leo Chenal. He's 65 on my big board. You're quite a bit lower on him than Mark or I. But I think Asamoah, he's a good he'd be a good will linebacker for them. Right. Kind of a coverage guy, which there's not a lot of Mike linebacker types sitting right here. Like Christian Harris is a will. Chad Muma is going to be a will.
Aaron Beavers.
Yeah. Beaver, I would say he's a Sam, but he could be a Mike. So there's not a lot of like Mike linebackers, and the Eagles kind of already have their will with Kazir White, although it's a 1-year deal. And to be honest, the Eagles linebackers are so bad that you can just play 2 wills and it'll be an improvement. So any of these linebackers I'd love.
Yeah. And then, obviously we talked about Andrew Booth. Let's look at the cornerback position because that's a major position of need for the Philadelphia Eagles, finding someone alongside Darius Slay. Andrew Booth Jr. is the top of the list by far. Some guys that I think Eagles fans should be keeping an eye out for is Tariq Woolen, an athletic freak that's more of a developmental piece, but you can't teach what he's got. His measurables are off the charts. Another name is Zion McCollum. Zion McCollum is an outside cornerback, starting potential prospect that I think could fall off the board here in round 2.
Yeah, here's Zion McCollum's spider chart. He's a guy that I really like. 10.0 relative athletic score. He's on the smaller side for a cornerback, but he's not tiny. I mean, 26th percentile arm length's not bad. He is really tall, 96th percentile, so he's real long, even if he doesn't have long arms, and just, elite speed and agility. He's someone that I mentioned as a guy for a potential third-round type of pick for the Eagles. Also really like Tariq Woolen. I think he's going to go today. Kyler Gordon is someone that I was surprised because Gordon was attending the first round, and so it started hype that, well, maybe he's going first round, and he didn't. And I didn't initially think he was going to, but I was surprised to see him attend the draft. I think he comes off the board fairly early tonight. He's the best corner left outside of Booth. I mean, the two guys ahead of him on consensus is Booth, who has medical issues, and McCreary, who has first percentile arm length. He can only play the slot. Kyler Gordon can be an outside corner for you. So I think Gordon is, if Booth doesn't go first here, I think Gordon is going to be the next corner to go. Yep. I can see him being someone the Eagles would have interest in if it makes it to him.
Yep. Can we look at the safety position real quick before the Buccaneers make their selection? And the safety pick is in according to ESPN on the TV. Yeah, some good ones. Jaquan Brisker, Jalen Petrie, Nick Cross, Kirby Joseph, Verone McKinley is a ball hawk. There's some good ones there that all could go tonight.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the Patriots, or not the Patriots, the Buccaneers take a safety here. Although that's not what they should do. They should go get a quarterback. I'm just telling you right now. That's what they need to go do.
I'm seeing a thing on Twitter here saying that many people around the league believe that Tyrann Mathieu to the Eagles is agreed in principle.
I could get on board with that.
Just saying. I just saw it on my timeline.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
100%. Bring the Honey Badger to Philadelphia, man. Let's keep adding playmakers, versatile playmakers to this defense, man. I love it. All right, Buccaneers pick is in. Who is the first selection of day 2? Hopefully it's not Jaquan Brisker. Logan Hall.
Okay, that's a Patriots style pick. I could definitely see that.
Logan Hall is a guy that I really liked. Flew up the draft board over the Senior Bowl 100%. Here's a quick video on Logan Hall. Had a terrific week during the Senior Bowl, and he has seen his draft stock increase in recent weeks. This is a prospect that gets by on relentless pursuit and hustle rather than elite athleticism. He's average to above average in a lot of areas. He's got excellent size, power, and versatility to thrive on the inside or out. He's just as good against the run as he is against the pass, and an NFL defense that lines him up inside on passing downs will surely benefit. Against the run, he's got heavy hands and a strong anchor to take on blocks and do damage in the backfield. A strong Senior Bowl week of practices has absolutely put him in discussion for rounds 1 and 2 of the 2022 NFL Draft. Let's watch some highlights. So there's Logan Hall to the Tampa Bay Bucks. I had this guy, I think my number 3 interior defensive tackle in this class. What are your thoughts on Logan Hall, man?
Yeah, and I think he's a good interior defensive lineman. I had him ranked ahead of Travis Jones. You had him behind Travis Jones.
You're right. I did. Yeah. Travis Jones is another high riser in this draft.
Yeah, I had him really close. So Logan Hall was 49 on my big board. Travis Jones was 52, but you had a bigger gap there, 30 for Jones, 48 for Hall. Yeah, Hall's a really good athlete. He has the 9.4 RAS score. It's a good run defender. I think that's just a very Patriots pick to go address the interior of their defensive line like that.
What I like about Logan Hall is he can play inside, he can play outside. He's got great size. I think that's a really good selection. By the way, the Packers have traded up here with the Minnesota Vikings. So the Packers are on the clock, and apparently the pick is in All right, so what wide receiver is this? I'm going to guess Christian Watson to the Green Bay Packers.
I'm going to guess
A defensive tackle?
yeah, I think so.
There's got to be a wide receiver here. I'm going to look at the big.
I think it's going to be George Pickens.
It better be. That would make sense. That'd make a lot of sense. That'd be a really good fit for Green Bay.
33 was the Patriots, right?
I believe so.
Who picked at 33?
No,
that was the Bucs.
33 was the Tampa Bay Bucks. We're at 34. It was the Minnesota Vikings, I believe, and then they traded with the Green Bay Packers. All right, Green Bay, you're going George Pickens. Are you going Christian Watson? I'm really interested to see where they go here. Sky Moore is a guy who has been climbing up the draft boards lately. A yak guy, smallish slot receiver, lightning after the catch. We'll see.
Yeah, we've got to assume they're going for a wide receiver here. We just talked about him. By far, George Pickens is our consensus favorite. I had George Pickens all the way up at 26 on my big board. You had him at 37. Mark had him at 23. So he is a guy that we all really liked. And I on my video, I just put videos I put together today. I said that he would be a great fit for a team like the Bears.
Christian Watson to the Green Bay Packers is the selection.
All right, so they get the deep threat Christian Watson he was North Dakota State, right?
Yeah, man. He's a really interesting kid that just like the previous pick, Logan Hall, absolutely blew up during the Senior Bowl week. Here's a little on Christian Watson. Rounds 2 to 3 grade on this guy. He's a really interesting name that has generated buzz after dominating practices at the Senior Bowl. Christian Watson, a 6'4" burner that can create separation on all 3 levels of the field. What's intriguing about Christian Watson is his versatility, and he should have no difficulty aligning anywhere on offense at the next level. In addition to possessing elite size and speed, he's also a major weapon in the return game. Under the right offensive system that gets him moving and utilizes that elite versatility, Christian Watson could be one of the biggest sleepers in the entire 22 draft. Let's take a look at some clips. All right, so Christian Watson is the selection. What's your thoughts on Christian Watson?
Yeah, Christian Watson turned in a really good 40 time. He was kind of a driver. He was a riser, a 9.96 relative athletic score. He ran a 4.3 640 at the combine. And so he's a guy that, Aaron Rodgers can kind of create for himself and allow him to get downfield. I like the pick. I would have liked George Pickens better, but the Packers had to get a receiver. And so just making a move to go get one makes that automatically a great pick, in my opinion. Yeah,
I think you can't go wrong with either. I think George Pickens is obviously a better wide receiver. But I think Christian Watson just like a slight tier underneath George Pickens. I think Watson has an interesting ceiling. I think that's definitely something I'm going to be watching next year alongside Aaron Rodgers. That's definitely I like that fit a lot.
He's a really good deep ball tracker, and of course Aaron Rodgers has a beautiful deep ball. So I think Watson averaged like 20.4 yards per reception during his collegiate career. Now, it was at North Dakota State. It was in the FCS, but, he was playing with an FCS quarterback too. He wasn't playing with Aaron Rodgers. So he could be someone that, is going to be a boom or bust guy. He's not the Devontae Adams type of receiver that Aaron Rodgers has had in the past, but, maybe we see Aaron Rodgers throwing up a lot of deep balls and him playing sort of a Deshaun Jackson type role here. Yeah.
All right. So the Tennessee Titans are making their pick as we speak here. I love this. This is moving fast. We have
Rufus. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. You read it off.
Rufus says, thanks for the stream, man. You're welcome, dude. Roger McCreary to the Tennessee Titans, not Andrew Booth Jr. Wow. Pick number 35, Tennessee Titans go Roger McCreary. Any reaction to that, man?
Do they need a slot corner? Because that's all McCreary is going to be. I I don't hate the pick. I think McCreary is a good player, but he's just going to be limited to the slot, which isn't bad for a second-round player. I would hate it for the Eagles. I'm not sure what their corner situation is as far as like needing a slot versus an outside, though.
Yeah, Roger McCreary is the selection. Here's my man, Roger McCreary.
To Trent McDuffie, which we'll get in a little bit. Roger McCreary has excellent versatility to thrive in the inside or outside at the next level. The first thing to know about Roger McCreary is that he has elite closing speed and the ability to mirror wide receivers in their routes. He plays with great composure, and this dude is battle tested. McCreary saw 76 targets while allowing only 35 catches with 13 pass breakups last year. He doesn't have elite long speed, but he makes up for it with excellent closing speed and the ability to break up passes down the field. Roger McCreary's length and time speed will surely have a great influence on whether or not he's taken in the first or second round. He's solid to above average when it comes to physical measurements. However, he is a tad raw. McCreary will surely benefit from a year of seasoning at the next level. However, this is a prospect with an incredibly high ceiling that is also good to great in pretty much every area you're looking for in a starting outside cornerback. Let's look at some film.
All right. So there is Roger McCreary.
Yeah, I mean, McCreary is smooth. He's really smooth in his transitions and things like that. Ultimately, the biggest thing about him is it just comes down to his physical limitations. It's nothing on the field for him. It's purely his stature. After the highlights roll here, I'll throw his spider chart up on the screen and
I'll take it on.
show you guys what we're talking about here. But I mean, literally 0th percentile arm length and wingspan, and that's pretty important for a corner. Now in the slot, I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be a really good slot corner. So if that's what the Titans are after here, I think it's a fine pick.
Yep. So Roger McCreary is off the board. Logan Hall to the Bucks, Christian Watson to the Packers, Roger McCreary to the Titans. We got Mark in the house. What's going on, Mark?
What's up, guys? First 3 picks. No one off of my big time Eagles big board yet. So
we got Mark in the car, not in the house.
Wait, what'd you say?
Dive said we've got Mark in the house. I said we've got Mark in the car, not in the house.
Yeah, we've got Mark getting chauffeured again, like last night. The times have not matched up for me the last couple of days with the draft, but I'll be home by the time the Eagles pick, unless we get a move up, I guess. But I think that I'm sure you guys talked about it already. I'm just joining in, but I don't think it's very likely to see the Eagles move up today.
Yeah.
No, I don't either. I think the Eagles are more likely to move back than to move up.
I agree. Yeah,
I could see that too. Yeah.
Howie even mentioned in his press conference jokingly that his scouting staff was mad at him because he burned all the day 3 picks.
I'm good with it.
Funny.
Both the Jets and the Texans picks are in, and the Giants are on the clock, but we still don't have those picks announced.
Yeah. Is it on Twitter yet?
Not that I'm seeing.
All right.
I'll take a look. I'll check.
My biggest fear is that the Giants are going to end up with Malik Willis.
I can't believe he's still on the board.
So the Texans have allegedly picked Jalen Petrie.
No.
And the Jets took I don't know. Oh, the Jets took Breece Hall.
All right, I'm good with that. I'll allow that.
That is way too high for Breece Hall.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it's too high, but I'm not a fan of bad teams taking a running back.
I'm not high on Breece Hall. I agree that it's a reach, but I do see we all saw a running back going in round 2. I think that was going to happen.
So 36 is Breece Hall to the Jets, and 37 is Jalen Petrie to Baylor. Do you have videos that you want to roll for either one of those guys, Dives?
Let me see.
I like your idea here, having the pick tracker up for day 2. It's going to go fast. That's a good idea.
Yeah. All right, here's Breece Hall. Prospect with an exciting blend of size, frame, and speed at 6'1" and 220 pounds. Breece Hall is very good at creating something out of nothing, as evident by his 74 broken tackles last season. While he's got an all-around skill set that's built more on finesse than power, he knows how to tempo his runs and be patient as a ball carrier. Unlike my number one prospect in the class, this isn't a pure home run hitter out of the backfield, and he struggles with picking up blitzes in protection. However, he's got loads and loads of potential in the passing game with a solid catch radius and ability to make guys miss once he's in space. Hall's combination of size, potential, and durability will surely get his name called on day 2 of the draft. His 4.39 40-yard dash and elite numbers in the broad and vert jump solidified himself as running back number 2 in this class. Let's watch some highlights. Nope. Running back 1.
Yeah, I mean, he was my running back 1, but I mean, at the end of the day, a bad team trading up for a running back is just such a bad decision, in my opinion.
He was my running back 1, but I had him, I believe, 86th overall. So I was extremely low on this running back class, mainly because I thought there was like 6 to 7 guys who probably could all probably have close to the same likelihood of translating into a good, NFL running back. So I would not want to take any of these guys before the later half of the 3rd round, just because I think there's a couple of them.
Ironically, in my videos that I made today, I said that Jalen Petrie was a perfect fit for the Jets at 38, and they traded up to 36 and didn't take him, and then he went 37.
I can think of a team trading up 2 spots above and bypassing on a perfect fit, only for him to go to the next pick. I have a good example of that in my head too. But just, I don't know if we all want to. I'm joining in late, so I don't know what you guys have talked about already. But if we want to run down all of our, I guess, top 5 best available, for me, it's Andrew Booth Jr., Nakobe Dean, Jaquan Brisker, George Pickens, and David Ojabo.
Pickens is gone.
Oh, Pickens is gone. Okay, so
Packers traded up for him.
No, I thought they took Watson.
Oh no! Sorry, you're right. They traded up and got Watson.
Yeah.
I'm spreading disinformation here.
Elon Musk is going to shut you down.
No, he's cool. He's cool with it.
No, I know you're right.
So, all right, pick 38 here at the Falcons. I pegged that the Falcons is a great place for David Ojabo to go here, a guy that would have been a top 15 talent if not for the injury. They're not going to compete right away. I think it'd be a great spot for him. You can bring him along slowly and you get your quarterback in the next year or so, and that'd be about the time Ojabo is hitting his peak. So I would like that pick here for the Falcons. They do need an edge. Obviously, Nakobe Dean could still be a pick here as they need a linebacker, Jaquan Brisker at safety, or maybe they take one of the quarterbacks. Where do you think the quarterbacks are going to come off the board here, Mark?
Seattle's coming up in 2 picks. I did hear that Malik Willis, they did their due diligence there, but Atlanta said that they did their due diligence on all of the quarterbacks, and they did just make a trade up above Seattle. So maybe this is the spot. I don't know. Maybe this is a quarterback coming off the board, but I think it should be. I think it would make a ton of sense to draft Malik Willis here. I think that'd be tremendous value for Atlanta, who just moved on from Matt Ryan, and you have Marcus Mariota as a stopgap option. Bring in Malik Willis, have him sit behind Mariota, have him learn. I think it's the perfect situation for Willis. The one thing on Ojabo, obviously everyone knows about the medical situation on Ojabo, but Ian Rappaport definitely made it sound like teams are really, really nervous about Ojabo and his injury and how raw he already was, I guess, and the combination of that. And then he also dropped, I don't know how much you've heard this today, but he also dropped that the reason Nakobe Dean is falling also might be injury related.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. What's the injury stuff with Dean?
I can't remember the specific one. If you go back, I think it's on his Twitter, but he said that he sustained an injury training for the combine.
Okay.
And I think that's why he didn't end up running. So it's a little weird. It's weird. It's always weird because it does seem like there's 1 or 2 of these a year where we don't hear about it beforehand, and then it's like, oh, this player's dropping, and maybe it is an injury thing. So I guess my my stance is I won't be surprised to see either of them continue to fall into the late half of the second round. But obviously that could change any minute with someone moving up and taking a chance.
So the pick is in for the Falcons, but it has not been announced yet. Now the Bears are on the clock.
This is also a funny thing. I'm seeing people tweet with Breece Hall now getting drafted. For you fantasy footballers out there, it does seem like everyone is anointing Breece Hall as the number one pick of redraft rookie leagues. Shane, I know you're not much of a fantasy guy, but a lot of people do dynasty leagues where they basically keep pretty much their entire team from the year before. So the only draft that you do year to year is just the rookie class. I actually have a buddy who doesn't follow college or the draft or anything, but he's in a big dynasty league. So he always comes to me right before to ask me my evaluation on the rookies. Breece Hall, he's definitely the type of guy who can step in right away and do a lot of things, multi-purpose back, but that's a rough situation. I don't know how much I would expect Breece Hall to contribute year one for the Jets behind what is still, not a great O-line. They didn't take an O-lineman in the first round either. So, yeah, and with no quarterback help, I wouldn't trust Breece Hall in fantasy this year. That's a random aside.
I'm really hoping this
for the Falcons. It is Edge Arnold Ebiketie.
Whoa!
Did I say that right?
That's a good pick.
Ebiketie.
Ebiketie, yeah.
Ebiketie.
My point.
First time.
Temple boy, Arnold. Hey, Arnold. He's a good player. I have him 30. I believe I had him 34.
Yeah, you had him 34. You were quite a bit higher on him. I had him at 50. Dipes had him at 51. He was the consensus number 34 player on our board. So you were the highest on him, Mark. Why don't you tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy, he's a little older, so the concern with that is always that maybe the upside has kind of been reached and you're drafting a finished product. I don't know how fair that is, though, because he only spent 1 year in, Big Ten college football. Sorry to Dives and Temple.
My boy.
He did transfer from Temple to Penn State, but a lot of the time you'd expect, that step in that first year and that transfer to be difficult due to the step up in competition. But his numbers exploded at Penn State in his last year. And in his last year at Penn State was, the reason that he's being drafted here. He's not like a freak athlete, I wouldn't say. And he might not be a guy who you can just plug in and play 3 downs and he's going to be a rotational guy. But the production at Penn State in the Big Ten against good O-linemen, it's hard to look past. I'm pretty sure that he had one of the best win rates in college football last year against single coverage in terms of blocking. So this is a guy who wins his blocks a lot. I mean, there's a lot to be excited about with him.
Yeah, he dominated at Temple. He was their best player on defense. Then he went to Penn State. And from the jump, literally from the jump, the first game, he was not just getting sacks, but he was everywhere on the field, blocking kicks. He was just a major impact player, nearly involved. He has a knack for being around the ball for sure. I really like Arnold Ebiketie. I think this is a really good selection for the Atlanta Falcons. I'm just getting a little worried that Malik Willis is going to be on the board here at 51. I don't want that to be an option, at least on my end.
Bring him here. So the next pick is in. Pick 39. Pick 39 is in. The Bears selected cornerback Kyler Gordon out of Washington.
Wait,
so Kyler Gordon out of Washington. He was my number 45 overall. He was 46 on our consensus board. He is, after Andrew Booth, he was our highest cornerback left. And so the Bears go get Kyler Gordon out of Washington here, the running mate for Trent McDuffie.
I have a question for you, Shane. Where did we take Jalen Hurts? What pick overall was that? Was that 51?
I think it was 52, actually.
52 or 54, something all those.
I knew it was early 50s. That would have been pretty funny if
53.
51.
53.
Okay. It's not quite as funny. But I hear where you're coming from, Dives, and we have a lot of needs. I've been bemoaning that when we took a D-tackle yesterday, and then today when me and Shane were talking about the potential of Pickens to the Eagles, where I love Pickens, and I'm fine adding another elite receiver. but we do have so many needs on defense. Having said that, if you take Jalen Hurts in the second round at 53, I think Malik Willis is probably a better prospect than Jalen Hurts was coming out of college, or at least a prospect with a higher upside. So I would understand the value proposition of Malik Willis in the second round here, 100%.
I mean, if you take a guy with elite traits like that in the second round, you can't complain about that. That's not handing him a starting job. He can go compete. And the best thing about it would be that he's sitting there. You know, he's behind Jalen Hurts, who is not going to be phased. He's not going to freak out like Carson Wentz did. It's going to challenge him. And if you end up moving on to him, he's going to run the same style of offense Hurts does. He's just going to be a better runner than Hurts is. So you're not going to change your offense. It would definitely be a commitment to this type of offense, which isn't a bad thing. And at a second-round pick, it doesn't prevent you from making a selection down the road either. But we're not there yet. We're still 11 picks away. The Seahawks are about to take him right here.
You think so?
I think so.
I think so, too.
Everything I've heard is that the Seahawks are legit in all the things they're saying about how much they like Drew Lock. I just can't buy it. Drew Lock's terrible, and everybody knows that. So I think now that they got their offensive tackle, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go after a quarterback here.
Well, Shane, don't just think about them as having Drew Lock. You have to also remember that they have Geno Smith. So
that is true. West Virginia elite Geno Smith.
That's what it comes down to. There is a guy around the NFL, Greg Rosenthal, by the way. Not a free plug here, but around the NFL, that's my favorite football podcast. My favorite football podcast that me and Shane and Dive were not on is what I should say. But
is it too narcissistic to say your podcast is your favorite?
Yeah, no. I'm a huge Chalk Talk guy, but no, I do know that there are people out there who think Geno Smith could be a game manager quarterback and point at. I guess he got pretty good PFF grades in the games he started for Russell Wilson last year. I don't seem to remember those games all that positively. But hey, to each their own for Seattle.
We've got Leo McGarry from Twitch. This is a buddy of mine who is a Steelers fan. He was devastated with the Kenny Pickett pick last night. So, Mark, maybe you can talk to him about that. But he is also a West Virginia guy, so he's a big Geno Smith. He likes to root for Geno. But, Mark, talk Leo McGarry off the edge here about Kenny Pickett because you're higher on him than either of us.
Oh, you should feel fantastic. I just think this is storybook stuff, man. Moving a hallway over. Mike Tomlin had the quote where he said, we scoured far and wide. We went to the Pac-12, the ACC, the SEC, Liberty. We checked out every possible quarterback, and somehow the guy that we wanted was in the same building as us since we were looking at the other guys. So it's pretty funny, and I think that this is a guy who's going to come in and succeed right away. The IQ he has, even when he wasn't, the first 3 years that people point at, and it's like, oh, he was a game manager. Yeah, that's true. He was a game manager, but you can see the IQ. When you go and watch those first 3 years, he didn't have some of the traits in the big arm that you'd want necessarily, but he was not making mistakes. Even when he wasn't the guy that was bringing 40 touchdowns to the table and a little bit of running and a little bit of play action to the table, that I think his play action is next level. So I think he's a great play action quarterback. But he was not making mistakes, not turning the ball over, not getting sacks. This is a smart guy. This is a guy who's played quarterback in college, in the ACC for 4 straight years, and in his last chance at his senior, he tore the cover off. Like I don't think anyone saw that coming. And I know some people will say, "Oh, then that makes it a fluke," but I don't think it makes it a fluke when you take the Pittsburgh program, which is a joke. I mean, the Pittsburgh football program has been a joke for like 10 plus years. And he pretty much revitalized it himself with Pat Narduzzi in his tenure there at Pittsburgh, to the point where last year they won an ACC championship and went to a New Year's Six bowl game. And I think he put up like 50 points in that ACC championship. And that's where the fake slide happened. And I was in on Kenny Pickett before the fake slide and before that ACC championship. But if you go watch that ACC championship, some of the reads he was making and some of the decisions he was making in what was a close game until the fourth quarter when they put it away, he's got galaxy brain level IQ. Like, I think that he has the chance to be a special quarterback. I'm not taking away anything from him, from his potential or upside that a lot of other people seem to. I think that he has a lot of Joe Burrow in him. Now, I'm not saying he's going to go to the Super Bowl in his second year and he's going to be a top 5 quarterback in his second year. I'm saying that there is a lot of similar traits in the way that they handle the pocket and the way that they step up in the pocket, the small hands, the late blooming in college. There's a lot of traits, but the main guy that pops off the film when I watch Kenny Pickett is Tony Romo. I think that he's going to be a very similar quarterback to Tony Romo at the next level. And some people, I think there's been a little Tony Romo overcorrection. I think a lot of people think Tony Romo wasn't that good. Tony Romo was really good. So I think Tony Romo was a top 10 quarterback. I think Pickett has that upside.
What I like about Pickett the most is his accuracy on the run. You saw it over and over and over again, where he would get out of the pocket and make a throw, hitting his receiver in strides. And I kind of thought about how amazing that would be for a guy like Devontae Smith, which that was not part of this offense at all last year. That's not something Jalen Hurts. It's not one of his strengths, but I think Kenny Pickett is a good quarterback. I think Malik Willis has potential to be a great quarterback. I think Kenny Pickett's floor is much higher than Malik Willis's. Sorry, Shane, but I think I don't know if he can be a good starter or if he's more of one of those fringe starters in the NFL.
I totally get that. Yeah.
So the Seahawks are on the clock. They're slowing things down here and not making their pick. You wonder if maybe they're going to try to trade one of these so they don't make back-to-back selections. But let's go back here to the Bears pick of Kyler Gordon. Can we just go ahead and say that the Bears hate Justin Fields? They go
now
draft the guy.
Now you know how I feel with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
They
go draft him. He desperately needs a wide receiver or offensive line. Had the worst pass protection in the NFL last year. His starting wide receivers, I just had to look up because let's play a game right now. Name one receiver for the Chicago Bears. Can you do it?
Is Wims? Javon Wims on there?
Let me right now. Okay, here we go. No. We have.
I know they draft. Don't tell me. Wait, not. Is it Mooney? Darnell Mooney? He's a guy.
Oh, you're thinking of Mims. Denzel.
Yeah, Darnell Mooney is one.
Do they have the UNC guy from last year?
Daz Newsome.
Yeah, that's all I can name. Those are the two I had in my head.
Yeah, their starting receivers are Darnell Mooney, Byron Pringle, and Equanimous St. Brown.
Oh, man.
Isaiah Coulter, David Moore, Daz Newsome, Nasimba Webster, which is a cool name, but I'm pretty sure he's never caught a football before. So, and they went and they drafted a cornerback. Somebody make it make sense.
Mooney?
Yeah, Darnell Mooney. Rufus with the call in there. Which that's fine. Good. That's fine.
But I'm not disagreeing. I was just saying he's decent. But yeah, the rumor was that they love Pickens. So I'm surprised with Pickens on the board still, they passed on him. That was the rumor though, that they were infatuated with Pickens. What number are we at here? We're still at 40?
We're at 40.
Boye Mafe is the
Boye
Mafe. It's a good pick.
And they are on the clock again with 41. Dives, you liked Mafe. Do you have a video on him you want to show?
I know I do, but did I spend the time today to cut it for this show?
Okay.
I did. How about that? I blanked out a lot today. Those toolsy prospects in this draft. Boye Mafe has great athleticism and looks effortless when moving in space. He's raw and will need coaching in order to untap that legit ceiling at the next level. He looks best with his hand in the ground and when he's attacking the quarterback. He's got very good balance coming off the edge, but where he's weakest is against the run. He doesn't have the best reaction or instincts, and he struggles shedding blocks and getting into that backfield. He's not a 3-down lineman yet, but I think he's got an intriguing pass rushing ability that makes him worthy of an investment on day 2 of this year's draft. Let's watch some clips. All right, so this guy can play edge. He can play some on the inside on passing downs. He can play some linebacker. This in baseball terms, this is one of those like 5-tool guys that you're gonna spend that time to develop him, and hopefully in the right system he flourishes.
Elite physical tools. Hasn't necessarily put it all together. He's kind of one of those raw guys. I mean, he had 7 sacks, but he's never quite put it all together. But he's got some good potential. I like the pick for that.
Oh, they just showed his dad like freaking out. That was awesome. I love that stuff, man. That was great.
And pick 41 is also in, but not yet announced. The Seahawks are sticking and picking at both spots.
Boy,
so I heard Dives mention 5-tool prospect. Can he get on base, Dives?
What'd you say?
Can he get on base? That's all we care about. It's money. Anytime you drop 5-tool prospect, I'm in my brain.
Can you replace
the scene in Moneyball?
Mark, can you replace a Giambi? Then what the fuck are we talking about, man?
Ooh, Kenneth Walker. Walker to Seattle. Wow.
Terrible pick.
That is so Seattle. It hurts.
Yeah. Somebody said that Boye Mafe was a certain Pete Carroll, or that just felt like a Pete Carroll pick. I'm telling you right now, Kenneth Walker is such a Pete Carroll pick. You're a terrible team. You have no quarterback. There's quarterbacks on the board. There's receivers on the board. There's offensive linemen on the board, and you're going to go take a running back. This is episode number 2 of a bad team takes a running back. That's how you stay bad.
They have multiple running backs on roster who have they have Rashad Penny and Chris Carson, who both have some experience. That's bizarre. That is bizarre.
All right, here's Kenny Walker. Number 1 on my rankings is Kenneth Walker out of Michigan State. Kenneth Walker is a tough runner with good strength and ability to make defenders miss. He had 89 broken tackles last year, including 20 against Miami alone in 2021. This is a true 3-down starter in the NFL with the burst and acceleration to drive through open holes on the offensive line and bounce off the edge on the out. In the passing game, he's got solid hands out of the backfield with big playability who is raw when it comes to a developed route tree. He needs to improve in pass protection, but presents an intriguing ceiling with plenty of room to grow. I expect Kenneth Walker to be the first running back selected in the top or middle of round 2. A 4.38 40-yard dash and solid measurements locked himself into the top running back of the class. I see him as a day 2 prospect with the potential to be selected at that back end of round 1. Let's watch some highlights. Nope.
So, I mean, he's athletic. He ran a 4.38 40. He's good, in broken tackles. He was top 5 among Power 5 running backs in both broken tackles per attempt and yards after contact per attempt. So he's physical. He's got the size. He can handle that workload. Like you kind of mentioned, he's not the best guy out of passing situations, but the Seahawks have Drew Lock. They're not going to pass the ball anyways. I like Kenneth Walker. It's a reach for me. Where's he at? He was number 43 for me. He was number 48 on our consensus board. So it's not terribly far off. It's just a bad pick because of the team that took him. The Seahawks had no business taking a running back here.
Yeah, Mark, hopefully, this is falling for the Eagles really well right now. I think we are doing pretty well if you're an Eagles fan. Hopefully this is not going to be like last year's NBA draft where you saw Quentin Grimes, Bones Highland, Cam Thomas taken right before the Sixers pick, man. I'm a Philly fan, so of course I'm pessimistic. So I'm a little freaking out right now that Jaquan Brisker is sitting right there for the Philadelphia Eagles. David Ajabo is sitting right there for the Philadelphia Eagles. Nakobe Dean is still sitting out there right now, right?
Yeah,
yep.
I mean, not to talk Sixers, but can you imagine that team with Cam Thomas? Oh my God! Mike Tanier just tweeted it out. Did Nakobe Dean slaughter a group of bunnies or something? What could possibly Ian Rappaport did say that there's some health concerns and that he got hurt training for the draft. But is anyone watching Georgia? last year. You know, the defense that 5 first-rounders from the defense went on. Oh, yeah, well, the best player on that defense is still on the board. Like, he was the best player on that defense and the most important player on that defense. So, the Kobe Dean still being available is a complete joke. But, if the Eagles get one of Booth, Dean, or Brisker, I take back every negative thing I ever said about Howie Roseman in the last 10 years.
We've got
Quentin chimes in on YouTube and says, if you don't have a good quarterback, run the ball with a good running back, I guess. So that's always that. But to be fair, that was Pete Carroll's plan when he had an elite quarterback. And then Rufus chimes in and says, as mad as I was last night at the pick, now that Davis is here, I will love him. That being said, can they please address the defensive backs? We're with you here, unless Malik Willis is on the board, and then Mark and I are jumping ship, and we're pounding the table for that. But, yeah, I'd love to see a defensive back 7 pick here. And I think that's where most of the rest of the draft should go, to be honest, is the back 7 of the defense.
I will just say, like, I would still rather Booth, Dean, Brisker, and a couple players than Malik Willis. But I'm saying if it happens, I will be here for it.
Vikings have traded up
for 42.
Is this Booth?
Right?
Yeah, and so. That would wait. Didn't they take a corner yesterday?
What did the Vikings do in round 1? I need to look.
No, they didn't. They took Lewis Seen. They took Lewis Seen.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
They're not taking Brisker, right? They're not taking Brisker here.
That's true. That's true.
Look on the
come on, Vikings. What's up, man?
I don't think
the Vikings traded up and selected Andrew Booth.
Is that it?
Yep. They went up. It looks like so everyone's saying they went up to leapfrog the Giants, who were going to take Booth.
Giants are low-key having a solid draft.
It's amazing what happens when you get Dave Gettleman out of the building.
Man. No, I really wanted the Eagles to get Andrew Booth. That would have been a great fit to just let him develop underneath Darius Slay. But there's still a lot of guys available for the Eagles. I literally just said just now that is this murder's row right before the Eagles pick, just like it was for the Sixers in last year's NBA draft. I hope not, man. I really hope not. But Andrew Booth Jr. is a terrific pick for the Minnesota Vikings.
So funny. This is funny, but when I put together my video, I said he was my number 1 prospect, and I said his ideal fit was the Minnesota Vikings at 34, and they traded back, and they still got him.
Well done.
Yeah, that's my number 8 overall player in the entire draft. So I think that's the best pick of the draft. That's the value of the draft. It's the
he finally comes off the board. Like Mark said, he was a number 18 on our consensus big board, the only guy left that was in the teens. And the Vikings move up to get him. Now, I think it's safe to say there's some concerns with the medicals. Is the only thing I can come up with why he fell that far. So it'll be something to keep an eye on as his career progresses.
All right, here's a little bit about Andrew Booth.
Booth Jr. checks off a lot of boxes for a starting outside cornerback. He's got a great combination of size, length, instincts, and very good to great athleticism. I love the way he's aggressive to the ball while watching him on tape. What separates Andrew Booth Jr. and everyone else is his elite anticipation, instincts, and ball skills. This is a guy who has a chance to become one of the elite playmakers in the NFL in a very short amount of time. He might get knocked for not possessing elite long speed, but don't let that fool you. What I really like about Andrew Booth Jr. is his fluidity in his movement. He's got incredibly fluid hips that allow him to change directions on a whim. There really isn't anything that Andrew Booth Jr. doesn't do well. For me, though, what makes this guy so exciting is his ability to read the quarterback, anticipate the throw, and make the play with his elite hands. I love this kid. Let's watch the film.
All right, so that's a little bit about Andrew Booth Jr., man. The dream is dead. The dream is dead.
Andrew Booth Jr. to Philly is dead. Long live Jaquan Brisker to Philly.
My boy Formal, who loves the Vikings, he lives in Minnesota, is going to be very happy right now. He's got to be very happy. Lewis Seen.
Wasn't that the guy who was yelling at me about Andrew Booth?
Yeah, it was, I think.
I think he hates Andrew Booth. He doesn't.
Oh, really? I could be wrong then. I don't know.
So.
Man, this guy's taking his amount of time here making this selection. Just make it the pick already.
All right, Rufus says, can someone go on Twitter and start a rumor about Brisker so he drops I'm on it. I'm on it.
Anybody have any,
I'm about to go tweet it.
Send me some marijuana photos. I'll like Photoshop his head in the photo, and we'll see what we can do. Man, I would love to get Brisker. That'd be so great.
All right, hold on just a second, Rufus. I've got it for you here. Maybe. Where did it go? Did it send? I clicked send.
I see it.
I'm being censored by Twitter.
Oh, really?
No, there we go. There we go. That's for you, Rufus. Per sources, Jaquan Brisker is a bad person and no one should draft him in the top 50.
I'm going to retweet that.
Having some fun here in the chat. You guys are here watching. Makes it fun for us. You guys interact. Let us know what you're thinking. Drop some questions, some comments. We'll keep this show rolling along here as we wait on the Giants. The pick is in. So pick 43 here for the Giants is in.
Is this your boy?
Hasn't been announced yet. I hope this is not Malik Willis, but I have a feeling. Actually, I don't know. If they wanted Malik, they wouldn't have traded back. That you would take him. So,
yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily what it's going to be here. Wandel Robinson, wide receiver.
Woo! Are you kidding me?
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, he was in my top 10.
He is not in my top 100. He's not in Dibe's top 100. He's 92 on Mark's big board. He's 103rd on our consensus board.
Major reach for Wandel Robinson. I mean, I had this guy as a day 3 guy. I'm going to have to dig deep into my notes here because I haven't talked about that kid in a minute.
I like Wandale Robinson. I'm always in on the Kentucky receivers. They use their receivers very interestingly. The way that I think Eddie Grand is the offensive coordinator. I don't know if you guys remember Lynn Bowden from a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
He was probably a more fun version because he played like quarterback. But Wandale Robinson had 104 catches for close to 1,400 yards and 7 touchdowns last year. He might be a slot guy. He is 5'11", a little tiny, a little bit slender, but Wandale Robinson's a guy who's definitely interesting. It feels like a little bit of a reach here. I had him ranked, I think, 93, but it's definitely interesting.
All right, so here's my notes. Round 3, very good athlete, thrives in space, well-rounded prospect, can attack defenses on all 3 levels, does well, kind of in pre-snap, moving before the snap, jet motion, screen passes. He's a playmaker in the slot, can do damage in the vertical passing game. He would thrive the most in an offense that lines him up all over the middle of the field and in the backfield. So he's a raw guy. He's a playmaker. And I said he's an interesting ceiling as a future starting receiver. So good value for the 3rd round, but definitely a reach here in that middle of the 2nd.
So rule number 1 of draft talk is when you don't know what to talk about, you just show a spider chart. So here's the spider chart. Dude is literally 5'8", 178 pounds. I don't know. Rufus retweeted my tweet. Says retweeted. I love it. LOL. I also just got the notification that Rufus followed me on Twitter. Rufus, is that what it took to get you to follow me? I didn't even know you didn't already.
Well, I just followed Rufus too. So.
Tweet well worth it. I'll follow you back here.
All right, Browns have traded the pick to the Houston Texans.
Ooh, Texans back on the clock.
Texans are back. They just made a selection. Who did they just take? Didn't they? Oh my gosh, I have so many tabs. I'm like going crazy right now.
The Texans took Petrie at 37, and now they're back on the clock at 44.
Well, at least they're not going to take Brisker, so we're good there, right?
I mean, they could probably use a second safety.
Stop.
No.
Stop. Watch your mouth. Oh, man. Nakobe Dean. There you go. Probably going to the Baltimore Ravens there, right?
If the Baltimore Ravens,
that could be a good
Hamilton
pick.
at pick 14 and Nakobe Dean at pick 45, I might just be a Ravens fan.
Wow.
That might be where we're at this point. Like that's so ridiculous how good that is.
That's what the Ravens seem to do. They just like sit there and great players fall to them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's terrific.
Yeah, you guys are bigger on Linderbaum too. So like if you're a big Linderbaum guy along with liking those two guys, like, and I'm not big on them. I anytime there's a center with like any sort of concern, like if you're not completely clean as a center to me, I'm not usually that high on you. But and he's clean on tape, but I mean he's tiny, like we were talking about with the scheme fit yesterday. But having Hamilton, Linderbaum, and Dean in terms of where they rank at the positions that they were in this draft, if they were able to get those three players, that'd be a pretty epic draft.
It would. Yeah.
Loki, the Commanders coming up here, they could definitely use a linebacker.
Yeah.
How much is it going to gut you if they take Nakobe Dean at 47?
It would suck, man. Like, you look at Kayvon in the NFC East, like, all my favorite guys are 100% going to the NFC East, so it's tough. It's definitely the Giants also got Evan Neal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, they're doing a really good job. Who did the Cowboys get? I don't remember. It's been
Cowboys took the Tulsa offensive lineman.
Tyler Smith. Yeah, that's a really good pick. I like that a lot.
I thought it was a little bit of an overdraft, but I do like him.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a reach, but I think he's really talented. I really do. I'm interested to see when Daniel Falele gets picked here in round 2, because if you don't know about that guy, now's the time, because he's like literally the biggest player in this draft. He's like 6'8". He's from Australia, and he's a rugby player. And if anybody knows the Eagles, you know exactly who I'm talking about here. And I think that's a really fun pick. I wouldn't like it for the Eagles, but you imagine Falele developing under Jordan Mailata?
The Texans pick is in. It is John Metchi III.
Wow! Love it. John Metchi, baby. Good for him. Why is George Pickens falling? What I need to do?
There were some reports of maybe some off the field issues, maybe some character red flags there. So maybe there's something going on with him that we don't really know about as well. That'd be my best guess here.
John Metchi, just an elite level athlete, man. Before the season started, he was a projected top 10 pick. He's a guy that he has some versatility. He could thrive on the outside. He could thrive on the inside in the slot. One of those home run threats in this draft. He's not a big guy, but he's got nice frame. He's got a really good speed. I like this, man. He's a guy that you can take shots with downfield. I kind of like John Metchi's like the forgotten guy in this wide receiver group, right? Like, he's really fallen. Like, there's been guys that have fallen in terms of ranking these wide receivers, and he kind of was the one that was thrown under the rug a little bit, unfortunately, because the wide receiver class is so freaking deep this year.
I'm a big fan of Metchi. I think Metchi's got really high upside. He kind of reminds me, not like in terms of place, what happened to him kind of reminds me of what happened to Jalen Waddle last year, in terms of he kind of stepped aside so that Jameson Williams could step up and be the hot story and be the receiver everyone was talking about. In the same way Waddle got hurt and it kind of stepped aside for Devontae Smith to really break out on his own. Obviously people didn't forget about Waddle because he ended up going higher than Smith, but I think people kind of forgot about how good Metchi can be when he is good. Yeah. So that was Houston that just took him right there, right?
Yeah. And he's probably going to miss most of his rookie season. So, a team like the Texans, true? I think he tore his ACL in the SEC title game, right? So that would have been in December or November?
No, that's a different receiver, dude. That's
No, he did get hurt too, but
No,
I didn't
no,
know.
not Jameson Williams.
No. Metchi tore his ACL in the SEC championship game.
Okay.
So he's
I didn't know
gonna.
that was, I forgot that was ACL, honestly.
Yeah. So that puts 7-8 months from December. I guess that put him back like August, September, if he comes back well. So maybe he won't miss much time. I think he's probably he's a solid number 2 receiver. I don't think he's like an elite talent, but I think he's a good player that you can plug in as a good number 2 receiver.
All right. So where are we feeling here as an Eagles fan? Baltimore Ravens pick is in. So Nakobe Dean. Let's throw Christian Harris in that mix. David Ajabo.
I'm here with Rufus. I think Ajabo is going to go to the Ravens. If not Ajabo, maybe like a guy like Leal or Travis Jones. They need defensive line. They haven't addressed that yet.
I like
and
that.
they love to go defensive line, so I could see that being a pick here.
Travis Jones. This is a good spot for Travis Jones.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Just not a safety. Not another safety.
Well, I don't think they're going to take another safety.
You never know.
Man, we're so close. Just get me Dean, Brisker, Ajabo, or Christian Harris. Just get me one of them, like one of those 4, and I'm super happy.
With the 51st pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Luke Fortner out of Kentucky. Get ready, man.
A guy just responded to my tweet about the Texans taking Metchi and asked, how do you grade that pick? And he said, I don't. He hasn't played an NFL down yet. Like, I bet you're a lot of fun at parties, aren't you?
Another name I'll throw out there, Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen would be an
Tariq Woolen
for the Eagles.
Definitely. We talked about him before he got on.
Yep,
and
I called it. David Ajabo is off the board here to the Baltimore Ravens.
Ravens, have a draft. Have a freaking draft, man. Well done.
I've actually got a video for him I can play for us here. Let me pull it up. I've made videos cutting up the top whatever guys here. Let me share this.
You gotta unmute yourself, man.
Oh, can you not hear that?
No.
Why isn't it? Okay, maybe I don't have a video then. I could hear it on my end.
Oh, really? Yeah, it seems like the audio's on. That's weird.
Can you hear that?
No.
Okay, well, never mind. I don't have a video. Go check out the video. It's on my Twitter.
I've got a Jabo here. Jabo time. This guy anywhere from the top of the first round to the back of the second round. He's one of those, top boomer bust prospects in this class. While David Ajabo possesses elite measurables and physical traits, he's incredibly raw. This is one of the biggest climbers in this year's draft class, 6'5", 250 pounds with excellent length and explosiveness. This elite athleticism and upside makes him one of the more interesting names in the 2022 class. However, there are some concerns about David Ajabo that truly simply cannot be ignored. David Ajabo will require moderate amounts of coaching and seasoning at the next level to harness that immense potential. He needs to work on his technique off the line, and he struggled at times against good competition last year. Unlike the top 3 edge rushers in this class, which we'll get to in a bit, his inconsistent motor and lack of feel for stopping the run certainly make me question his ability to be a 3-down edge rusher in the NFL. However, that elite athleticism will surely entice some team to take him in the first round, roll that dice, and work on untopping that immense potential. Let's watch the tape.
So I figured out what the issue was, so I'll be good to go next time around.
Okay. So this was before. I think I made this in January. This was before his pro day where he tore his Achilles tendon.
Yeah. So Ajabo was my edge 2 in the class before the injury. Top 15 player. I think that's
the Lions are making a pick already.
Is it in?
Yeah, they're making the. Wow, that was fast.
That's I feel like move. They've done this all 3 times now. They immediately submit to pick without even taking a couple minutes. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, who are they taking here? I mean, they should go get a quarterback right now. They took Joshua Pascal, the defensive end out of Kentucky. What is going on with these quarterbacks?
Interesting. Yeah. Malik Willis, the slide for Malik Willis continues. Josh Pascal, edge out of Kentucky, is selected here at 46 with Washington up. This has to be Nakobe Dean. I would be stunned if it's not. Stunned.
So the Lions, the Lions took another edge rusher? That surprises me.
At pick number 46, we just got my first player that did not make my top 100.
Not bad. That's pretty good.
That's the first player that was not on my list. So
I can't talk about this guy. I also did not have this guy on my positional rankings or sleepers video. So I don't really have much to offer on this dude.
But he was actually number 60 for me on my big board. I kind of liked him. He's big. He's a really powerful guy. He's kind of a tone setter on the defensive line, and he's a guy that you can move around to multiple spots. He played interior some. He played on the edge some. I would say his best trait was his run defending ability. He's got a good first step, like a quick first step as a pass rusher, but he doesn't have much bend. He doesn't have the best pass rush moves. So he gets off the line fast, but he doesn't do much once he does that.
Fun fact, he beat cancer while he was at Kentucky.
Wow. I didn't
know that.
I did not
Just
know
looked
that.
it up. Just looked it up to try to find some stats. Beat cancer. That's pretty awesome.
That's amazing, man. No, I'm rooting for him now. That's really cool.
Yeah, I didn't know. I probably would have ranked him top 100 just to avoid bad vibes. Like, that's the kind of guy I'd be rooting for. I didn't no idea. That's awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah. That is surprising to me, though, that they would take another edge rusher.
How about George Pickens here to Washington?
They took Dotson yesterday, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
They should have taken Pickens yesterday. It would have been a better draft.
I feel like they – I agree. I feel like they've got to go D-back.
So the Lions – I'm confused by the Lions taking two edge rushers with their top 3 picks. That doesn't make sense to me.
Coil things Washington quarterback. Could this be Malik Willis here for Washington?
No. Look what happened the last time a team that had Carson Wentz picked it or drafted a guy in the second round. There's no possible way that Washington's going to do that.
Oh, man, now I really want it to happen.
Actually, it is Washington. I take that back. Scratch that. They're crazy. They do ridiculous things. Rufus Rogers said, I know it's a reach, but does Sam Williams start coming into the conversation? Sam Williams, let me see where he's at on our board here. So he is down. He's 76 on my big board. He did not make Dibes top 100. Wait, how many of the guys did you rank, Dibes? I see a 110.
Yeah. There are guys that certainly I just did not come across somehow, and Sam Williams is one of them.
Okay. Mark has him at 65. Consensus, he is the number 92 guy on our big board. So, yeah, I mean, I would consider that a pretty big reach at this point.
So I'm at 65, so it's not that big of a reach for me. He had 15. He was really, really good as a senior at Ole Miss. I mean, 15 tackles for loss and 12 and a half sacks, and he's 6'4", 265. I mean, this guy's got the frame to succeed at the next level. He produced in the SEC. I mean, you know, I think that it's a reach. I mean, I have him 65. I don't have him, where are we at, 40, 47. But I don't think it's ridiculous. I think it's a lot less ridiculous than Josh Pascal. But that's just my ranking.
By the way,
but not
random aside, there's been no tight end selected so far in this draft, which is kind of expected. Jelani Woods with that 5th round selection for the Eagles. Anybody? I'm like, that's where I'm at right now.
So let's go back to a team that's having a phenomenal draft here. So far the Ravens have traded down, selected Kyle Hamilton, the number 1 guy on our board, Tyler Linderbaum, the best interior offensive lineman in the draft, and David Ajabo, who was a top 15 pick before he got hurt. Like, that's just an incredible draft haul.
Yeah.
And yet they still need a receiver for me to be happy about it.
I totally agree.
It's amazing.
So here's my thought as we're coming up here. The Eagles are 5 picks away There's still several linebackers on the board here. You got Nakobe Dean, Chad Muma, Christian Harris.
Yes. Chad Muma, baby.
I kind of think the Eagles would probably – Jaquan Brisker is still there. I kind of think the Eagles would like to move back a little bit here, pick up another pick with so many guys left here that they could like.
It's not wrong.
I have a feeling they're gonna like Brisker. They're gonna want Brisker. They visited with Brisker. They visited with a bunch of Penn State guys. They visited with Ebiketie, who's gone now. They visited with
your guy just went off the board, Fedarian Mathis to the Washington Commanders.
Oh,
Fedarian Mathis is off the board.
That's so funny. I thought I was too high on him at 50. I felt crazy because he looked at rankings everywhere, and you guys weren't high on him. And I was like, yeah, I like this guy. I ranked him 50. Now where did he go? He went what, 47? There you go. I like it.
I like that they picked him that high too.
I like him.
Right.
He's good. And I think he's a guy who's going to play right away. I think he's like a 3-year contributor at Bama. He should play right away.
Fedarian Mathis is off the board. Yeah, he's a good player. Definitely a good player.
I had him at 100. Dibes had him at 103. Mark at 50. He was the consensus number 93 player on our big board. He goes off the board here at 47 overall. Over Travis Jones, I might add.
And Perry Winfrey's a damn good interior defensive tackle too.
Yeah.
I have Mathis over both of those guys. So I think he's probably the highest rated. Yeah, he was my high. No, DeMarvin Leal. I have DeMarvin Leal over.
Marvin Leal's still on the board. Wow.
Yeah. It's not a bad pick. I get it.
No, I'm glad it's not Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not Dean or Brisker. For sure.
All right, the Bears are on the clock. Please go get a wide receiver for Justin Fields.
George Pickens here. That'd be a great pick for them.
George Pickens, Sky Moore, get somebody here. Or if you're not going to do that, go get me an offensive lineman. Go get Bernard Raymond out of Central Michigan.
Raymond, he's really good. He's really good. I'm surprised there's not more offensive linemen being taken in this second round because I thought I was going to see a ton of them fly off the board. That's where I thought day 2 was going to be loaded with offensive linemen.
Waiting on my guy Sean Ryan.
If you kind of look down our board here, though, there's not a lot of guys that are up near the top of our list that are offensive linemen. So the pick is in for the Bears. Please let it be Bernard Raymond or George Pickens.
It's got to be Pickens.
For the love of Justin Fields.
Be Pickens.
Nakobe Dean to the Bears. Ian Rappaport suggests a quarterback could perhaps be in play for the Eagles at pick number 51.
Oh, I absolutely believe that.
Time is a flat circle.
I'm tweeting that right now.
No, I just read it.
No, I know. I'm quote tweeting it, and with what Mark just said, time is a flat circle.
I'm gonna make a drink. I'll be back. I'm gonna need a lot of drinks if we take another quarter.
I might need a drink if we take a quarterback and it's Matt Corral.
Wait, so Corral's the guy you like the least?
Yeah, well, I mean, out of the ones on the board here.
You like him less than Hal?
Well, no, I don't think Hal's even an option here. I'm talking like out of Ritter and Willis and Corral. I'd go Willis, Ritter, Corral. All right, the pick is in, and y'all aren't gonna like it, but it is Jaquan Brisker. So Jaquan Brisker is off of the board here, and he's going to the Chicago Bears.
Fantastic pick, even though it's not a receiver again.
So
that sucks, man. That sucks.
I've got a video here on Jaquan Penn State, who came into the draft at 23 on my big board. Jaquan Brisker turned in a 9.14 relative athletic score. This is an explosive athlete, really good agility. He doesn't have necessarily elite straight line speed, but he stops and starts quickly, which is something that's very important at the safety position. He's extremely versatile. At Penn State, he was used as a single high safety, They put him in the box. They put him in the slot. He can really do anything for you at the next level, although I don't think single high is going to be his best usage. I think you're going to want this guy in split field safety looks. I think you can drop him into the slot a lot. He's excellent in the run game, which is why being a slot defender. Oh, my internet just cut out. You're not having good tech today. Jaquan Brisker comes off the board here, and Eagles fans are very sad.
Yeah, that's a good pick, man. That's definitely a really good fit. Oh, look at the little baby girl for Desmond Ritter. I've got myself a 2-year-old daughter. Oh, it's the cam of love. We got Sam Howell and his girlfriend, I think, showing the love. All right, but that sucks, man. Not showing the love. Sorry, Chicago. Go fuck yourself. That's
how he loves those quarterbacks named Carson. Just saying, Rufus Rogers says.
Don't get me started. Dirty to me.
Oh man, I really wanted Brisker. That would have been a terrific pick. So who are we looking at? Who are we looking at for Eagles? Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean. What pick are we at right now?
49.
We're at 49. We're a few picks away.
Saints.
Christian Harris did visit with Philadelphia.
I'd be down.
Christian Harris is in play.
Saints, Chiefs, and then Eagles. Followed by Leo McGarry's Steelers, if he's still here in the chat.
Where are you at between Chad Muma and Christian Harris?
I have Harris a lot higher.
Yeah, here let's just pull it up on our big boards here. Let me pull up our linebackers. I think I was higher on Harris as well. So I'm 51 on Harris, 58 on Muma. Mark is 31 on Harris, 61 on Muma, and then you're actually higher on Muma, 44 versus 49.
Yeah, I like both of those guys really well. I mean, I think both of those guys fit the Eagles really well. I would love that selection. I mean, I would go Nakobe Dean, of course. But maybe in a trade back, is Howie looking at Christian Harris or Chad Muma like a few picks down the road in round 2? It could make sense.
Yeah, I mean, the guys I'd be looking at, just based on my rankings, would be Nakobe Dean, Christian Harris. I would look at the quarterbacks. Obviously, I like Carson Strong, but that's not the time. I would look at Malik Willis. Sean Ryan, if I was looking at offensive line, would be the offensive lineman I would go. Then the last guy that would kind of get me excited, I guess, would be Tariq Woolen, the cornerback out of UTSA. And I could, there's definitely some traits that I think the Eagles value that Tariq Woolen comes in pretty well on. So that might feel like a bit of a reach, but I would like Woolen here too. So those are definitely the names I would like to hear. Drake Jackson.
I like Tariq Woolen a lot. I was just literally about to say that, Mark, was a guy that maybe it could be a wild card here is Drake Jackson, just a natural pass rush, more of a rotational guy, but excellent at getting to the quarterback. Kind of could split some time with Brandon Graham next year. So Drake Jackson's definitely maybe someone on that radar.
A guy I have ranked a little lower. Oh, my bad.
So I was just saying, trending on Twitter right now, well, not trending, but I'm seeing it on my timeline, is more allusions to the fact that it's believed that the Eagles have agreed to a deal with Tyrann Mathieu. So,
whoa.
Yeah, come on, man. I would die. Like, he would fit this defense so well. Oh. Where are you seeing that? Because I saw one account that was like a little fluky.
Yeah.
It was not Vin Fosh.
I'll see if I can find it again. It popped up and then I refreshed and too many tweets flying around.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff McClain earlier today, I did see Jeff McClain say that he did think that Howie was looking at him as kind of a backup plan to not getting a top safety in the draft.
That's amazing. The fact that the Honey Badger's waiting for the Eagles to make that decision, like, just makes me so happy.
Big hopefully we're tweeted and said everybody wants a wide receiver for the field, so the Bears double down on defense and just say F it. Offense was never our thing anyways.
They're going the Lamar Jackson route where they're like, hey, Justin Fields should be able to create enough stuff on his legs that receivers just don't matter. Why get receivers?
All right. Yeah, I think it's Nakobe Dean. I think it's Christian Harris. I think it's Tariq Woolen. One of those three. I think I'd be really happy with one of those three.
I will say also, Matt Corral visited Philadelphia.
Who did?
I will also Matt Corral. I will also.
No. Stop it.
I wouldn't like it either, but I will just throw out that he visited Philadelphia.
I cannot have no.
I do like Corral more than Ritter though. So not by
Rufus
not by
says
any
Zion
means.
McCollum seems like somebody that Howie would like.
I'd be okay with that. I'm good with that, Rufus.
We all have.
It just feels like
we all have
like
McCollum
Woolen's like the
in our
better
top
version.
100. He was at 10.0 relative athletic score. He's 107 consensus on our big board. He feels more like a third-round guy to me than a second-round guy, but I would really like him.
Alante Taylor to the New Orleans Saints. Just make the fans happy, Howie. Take Nakobe Dean.
Taylor was not ranked by any of us on our big boards.
Oh my God,
He is 124 on the consensus big board.
Wowzers. Okay. I love it.
And he goes 49 here to the Saints.
The new Danny Watkins. I don't remember. I wasn't like following the draft the NFL draft. That was more NBA draft when I was younger. But in terms of NFL, where was Danny Watkins like projected when the Eagles made that first round pick? Does anybody remember that?
Nah, that's a little before my time in terms of knowing.
Yeah, Danny Watkins was like, I remember that being such a surprise.
I definitely had takes at the time because I remember I spent that whole the 5 picks leading up to it on the phone with a buddy, and I remember we definitely both had a player that we really wanted. I probably have to look at the draft to figure out who it was and how stupid we probably were. But I remember we had this player we really wanted, and when they picked Danny Watkins, it was not a name that we had considered. I guess that's what I remember the pick being like.
I will say Danny Watkins is the best firefighter that's ever been drafted in the first round of the NFL draft.
Do you guys ever see the Tony Danza Garbage Man Eagles movie?
I don't guess so.
You've never seen it? Brian Dawkins is in it. It's from the mid '90s. Tony Danza. It's called the field goal kicking, trash picking Philadelphia phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's like this. Tony Danza is a garbage man who they find out he's a good kicker.
So that was like they basically. Who's my guy? I had him on my show. God damn it! The special teamer for the Eagles back in the 80s, 70s, 80s. Come on, Vince Papale. My goodness.
No, I've seen that movie. Rufus says that
Invincible,
Rufus says that it was late first, early second for Watkins.
All right, so Kansas
Just
City's
straight
on
up to 50 here.
Yeah, or the
One pick
Chiefs.
above us?
Chiefs are on the clock at 50. Eagles are at 51.
Chiefs traded with the Patriots here.
Okay. I had it reversed.
Oh, so the Patriots are on the clock now?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Belichick's taking someone we've never heard of for sure.
Well, what's our vibes here? Could it be Malik Willis? Willis?
Not for the Patriots.
No. I'm sorry, with the Eagles. My bad. For the Eagles.
Belichick. I think Belichick is trading up to take Joshua Williams out of Fayetteville State, cornerback out of Fayetteville State. He's ranked 283 on PFF Big Board. That's who's coming out right here.
I feel like it's going to be Leo Chenal. That was the first name that popped in my head. He feels like he'd be like a Belichick guy. Chad Muma.
Darian Beavers.
Chad Muma.
Give him Darian Beavers. Why not?
It's definitely Chad Muma from Wyoming. Are you kidding?
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
It's definitely going to be Chad Muma.
If you're jumping in front of the Eagles, it makes sense that you'd be going after a linebacker here.
And that was a lot of people thought they would take one on day one.
Yeah.
Anybody know what the selection is yet?
No, it's still not in. They traded up, but they don't know who they want to draft, apparently.
Who the hell is Alante Taylor?
I don't know who that is. I'll be quite honest about it.
He's a cornerback out of Tennessee. He was ranked 76 on TDN's big board. He was not in the Ringers top 100. He was 219 on PFF's big board. The pick is in, but it's not announced yet.
Patriots look at their best fit. It says George Pickens, man.
Patriots take Tyquan Thornton.
What?
Tyquan Thornton.
All right, so this is by far one of the biggest risers in the draft who absolutely blew up at the combine. What was his 40 time? Like 4.26?
I thought it was lower than that.
I don't even see him, to be honest. Oh, there he is.
I had him in mind.
Yeah. I don't have his 40 time though. I'll pull up his Twitter chart.
I had him in my I did a video on him, but I don't have it ready to go. But he absolutely was one of the biggest winners of the combine at his position. But Thornton is just a downfield threat, man. Super fast.
2nd percentile hand size, 9th percentile weight, but he's tall, and he ran a 4.28 40.
Damn.
Oh, 4.28. I was wrong. Aaron Schatz said that they had him estimated as an undrafted free agent.
Wow.
That sounds about like a Patriots pick.
Yeah, I was really interested to see how high he would go. Round 2 is crazy. Round 2 is absolutely crazy. Quinn says,
God.
Who are the birds picking? We are on the clock right now.
Take Kobe.
So in the 2nd round, the Patriots took their 2nd undrafted free agent, basically.
Well, Cole Strange was really good. Yo, no hate on Cole Strange. That guy was a day 2 guy.
Did you guys see McVay's reaction?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God, you got to look up Sean McVay's reaction. He's like, we thought we were getting him at 104.
Rufus says Tyquan Thornton is like the guy in The Replacements, fast as hell, but can't catch. I love that movie, man. That's an underrated movie. I need to watch that. That's terrific. All right.
So the Eagles are on the clock here. Do you think they stand and make the pick?
I prefer them to take Nakobe Dean, Christian Harris, Chad Muma, and just get it over with.
Okay, so here's
Nakobe Dean.
Here's the big board. So you guys both want Dean?
Yeah.
Dean or Harris.
Nakobe Dean.
For sure.
I'm good with either, but I prefer Nakobe Dean.
I want Malik Willis. I don't think they're going to do it. Don't think they're going to do it. I'd take Willis in a heartbeat. If we remove quarterback from the table, let's see. Nakobe Dean would be good.
You want the chaos. Shane wants all the chaos.
It's not chaos. It's just it's a cheap investment at the quarterback position where you don't know you've got the guy. But if you're not going to take Malik, I'd like to see you take either Nakobe Dean, Christian Harris, Chad Muma, or maybe you go get a guy like you guys were talking about, Tariq Woolen.
I'd be good with Leo Chanel too. I think he's a really good player. I would not be upset about that at all.
I wouldn't be upset with Chanel either. I obviously like Sean Ryan too. If they wanted to go O-line.
If they wanted to go O-line, another guy I would love, as the pick is in but has not yet been announced, I would love Dylan Parham out of Memphis.
Yeah, I like him too.
Parham, he projects to be a center.
Cam Jurgens?
Is that who
What?
it is?
Jurgens?
Shut up.
ESP just tweeted out. Center?
Who?
Cam Jurgens. He had a 9.34 athletic score.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, he's not in my top 100. Didn't really even consider him for my top 100.
Yeah, I don't even think I covered him in my interior
God.
offensive lineman rankings.
Yo,
no.
Howie Roseman knows that there's things other than offensive and defensive line, right?
What did I tell you like 4 or 5 hours ago? Be prepared to take one of these interior offensive linemen, right?
Cam Jurgens is not ranked in any of our big boards. He's not even on it.
No, that does not ring a bell at all.
Let me go see where he's at on like PFF and TDN.
What?
Cam Jurgens is 93 on PFF. Oh, no. Oh, it's changed. He's 93 for PFF.
That is.
Cam Jurgens is 131 on the Draft Network's big board.
I can't believe we went through all of that. Take Cam fucking Jurgens.
Yeah, that's a horrendous pick. Horrendous pick.
I don't even know who that is. Like I
Nebraska.
Center from Nebraska.
Does anybody? Quentin says no. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's an absolutely terrible.
This
pick.
is that Howie Roseman trying to be the smartest man in the room shit again and again and again. What he just can't get.
And the Steelers take George Pickens with the next pick. Unbelievable. That's how you draft, you fucking idiot, Howie. Does Howie know that you're allowed to draft the secondary player? You're allowed to draft cornerbacks and safeties. Like, that's something that other teams do, and it tends to work out for them. Other teams actually decide to build outside of the interiors of their offensive and defensive line. But, we'll just continue to take centers, guards, and defensive tackles repeatedly. It's such a joke, guys. That's oh, my God.
I don't even know who this is. I got to, figure this out. He's 6 foot.
And here's what everyone's saying online. Justin's comment, to be fair, we have the best O-line coach ever, so I'll trust it. I bet he pounded the table for this guy. Everyone's saying this online. That's the point against it. If you have the best O-line coach and he's developing O-linemen at an insane rate, the point against taking an O-lineman in the second round who no one's ever heard of is exactly that. That's exactly the point against the pick. So this has been a really, really terrible draft, in my opinion. A.J. Brown is a separate thing for me. He's an NFL player. I don't really consider him part of the draft, but this is terrible.
Looks like he's a center prospect.
Yeah, from Nebraska. He's athletic.
6 foot 2, 7/8. All right, this is from Bleacher Report. Jurgens was a 3-year starter inside Nebraska's multiple run play option, play action heavy scheme with 31 starts at center. He was listed at 290 pounds this past season. Is a lean build. Originally committed to Nebraska as a tight end. He's been playing offensive line for only 3 years after converting to the position as a redshirt freshman. He's explosive. He's a twitched-up athlete with ultra-physical playing style and the ability to generate impressive power and technique. He excels getting underneath bigger interior run defenders on combo and double team blocks with very good pad level and jolt. Blah, 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 blah. They predicted a round 3 grade on Cam Jurgens. Pro comparison, I shit you not, Jason Kelce light is literally what Bleacher Report says about this kid.
Dumb comparison.
If you're lighter than Jason Kelce, I don't think you can be an offensive lineman in the NFL.
Well, I think that they just meant like a poor man's Jason Kelce.
Oh, okay.
If I'm hearing that correctly.
Well, Jason Kelce was a 6th round pick. Like most stud centers are late round picks, not second round. Like the Eagles could have drafted 3 linebackers that we named off. They could have drafted several cornerbacks that would have been players this year, and instead, for the second year in a row, we're lighting our second round pick on fire and burning it because we can't do anything except take offensive line.
Why would you not trade back here? Trade back and take Cam Jurgens. What? Why are you taking him with pick 51, Howie? Come on, man. I'm blown away. This is so disappointing. I would have rather taken.
I was just ranting on mute for 15 seconds, and I'm actually kind of happy about it. It was mean things, but George Pickens, by the way, going to Pittsburgh makes me so positive that he's going to be an unbelievable wide receiver. He is going to be so good. Pittsburgh is renowned for drafting wide receivers, and they get the guy who I had 23rd overall, and they get him at 52. And that's unbelievable. That's fantastic drafting by Pittsburgh. I love their draft.
I'm shocked.
Is it officially Pickens?
Yeah, it's Pickens.
Here's CBS Sports on this selection, and maybe I'm wrong. Tremendous selection. Even if he'll be Jason Kelce's backup in 2022, he's explosive, well-balanced. He's a mauler on the inside, checks the length box. With more strength, he could be an all-pro type in Philadelphia. They gave it an A-.
I think that my take on people that generally come out and love Eagles picks no matter what is that they don't put out rankings beforehand. And then they just come out and say that they love every pick that the Eagles make. That's my read on a lot of Eagles fans and a lot of Eagles Twitter, just to kind of cowtail to Howie no matter what. But those are the people that don't put out rankings beforehand. And the reason we do this and the reason we put out rankings beforehand is so that we have takes that aren't just, oh, I like what my team did because I'm a fan, or oh, I hate what my team did because they're never right. Like, we actually put out our information and who we like beforehand, so we react accordingly. Like that, it drives me nuts. I have friends that just either kill a pick because they see other people killing it, or love a pick because they see other people loving it, and I just, there's no defending this pick.
So, yeah, Rufus says Seattle has no center, and they just passed on him twice. We have two, and we drafted another. I mean, even if he goes and he's an all-pro, like, you got to look at opportunity cost. This is a guy that will not play this year, and you can only do so much only drafting guys in the trenches. At some point, you have to draft secondary players. But I want to roll my video here, George Pickens. This is a guy that we were all really high on.
Time out real quick. Breaking news here on George Pickens. George Pickens was a passenger in a car crash a week ago. So, cited for not wearing a seatbelt by the police with his head hitting the windshield. He left scrapes okay. Both vehicles wrecked. Was he in the car with Trey Walker? What's with these Georgia draft prospects getting into car accidents the week before the draft?
No, I have even bigger news. Per Shams, Joel Embiid suffered a right orbital fracture and mild concussion in the Game 6 win. He's listed as out, and there's no timetable for his return.
Oh, my God.
The sky is falling, officially.
Okay, I'm going to roll this video. All
right, I think I'm going to hop off on that note. Holy, oh, my God. All right, see you guys. I'll be back, I'm sure.
The number 6 player left on my big board is wide receiver George Pickens out of Georgia, who comes in at 26 overall on my big board. He had a 9.37 relative athletic score. This guy's a really good athlete. He's a big-bodied ex-receiver, but he can sink his hips and he can make breaks in a way that you don't typically see from an ex-receiver. He's got great body control. He's got great start and stop ability. He's a little soft at the catch point at times. He's not necessarily a contested catch guy, but he is a guy who can win off of press coverage. He's a guy who can get open that you can bounce your quarterback to on the backside of progressions. He makes some really good plays, and he's good after the catch. And so I think he would be a great selection here. I had him as my wide receiver 5 overall, and he would be the 7th receiver coming off of the board here. So one concern with him is he is coming off of an ACL tear in 2020. It limited him to 4 games in 2021. But as long as the medicals check out, I think this guy, without that injury, I think he could have been in conversation for wide receiver 1. I think he's a perfect fit at 37 overall to the Chicago Bears, who desperately need a target for Justin Fields so they don't hamstring Fields' development. So I like Pickens to the Bears at 37. So I had Pickens going off the board higher than that. Great pick there for the Steelers at 52. And it looks like pick 53 is also in. The Indianapolis Colts selected wide receiver Alec Pierce out of Cincinnati at 54. The Chiefs pick is in, but we don't yet know what it is. Fix our big board here and get that all checked off. Okay, so George Pickens is gone at 52. And Alec Pierce is gone at 53. He's a guy that we were all quite a bit lower on. We did all have him in our top 100, though. He goes 53 to the Colts. He was 90 on my big board, 80th on Dives, 97 on Mark, 79 overall consensus. And so now the Kansas City Chiefs, their pick is in. The Cardinals are on the clock, but we don't have the Chiefs pick yet.
Holy shit, man.
Apparently, Nakobe Dean has a pectoral issue that's causing him to drop. That's what's going around on Twitter right now.
Time to drink. Holy shit.
So back to the Cam Jurgens thing. The biggest issue there is the Eagles already have tremendous offensive line depth. Like, they've already got Nate Herbig, who's proven that he can step in and play at guard. They've got Isaac Seumalo, who they drafted years ago to be a center. They got Landon Dickerson. Who's the other guy? They got another. What's the other guard that they drafted? Played right. He played right guard some last year. Let me pull it up here. Not Herbig. Driscoll. Jack Driscoll. He played some tackle and guard. Like, it's just, there's just so many guys on the O line already. I hate that pick. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, and they were fine there. They were fine. There's no reason why you can't throw that to next year. I don't understand the Cam Jurgens selection, and I'm the one who was expecting this, and it sucks. I told you guys. I told you, Shane. Like, don't be surprised if Howie takes one of the interior offensive linemen. And the shocking thing here is that it's one that I didn't even see coming. Now, I had probably like 5 or 6 other interior offensive linemen in that day 2 range, and this wasn't one of them. So it was a deep position for sure, but this is just not the right selection.
I mean, the Eagles have second round, or they have backups that could be starters at other places right now, and so it's just I hate it, just terrible.
Oh my God, Shane! I thought last night was going to be the night that I start crying on live camera. This could be it right here. Fucking hell.
All right, we're still waiting on the Chiefs pick to roll in here.
There have been so many better directions, Quentin says, directions for that selection. Raptors get the last laugh. There's a fucking Raptors fan with a check mark, a well-known Raptors fan who was saying and celebrating Pascal Siakam when he elbowed Embiid to the head at the end of last night's game. And I just quote tweeted him because I commented and then I quote tweeted him just now about, like, the dude was celebrating an elbow to the face of Joel Embiid, and now look where we're at. Like, I hate Toronto Raptors fans, man. They're just classless. Absolutely classless, man. Coyle says, I hate Toronto. I hate Howie.
The pick is in for the Chiefs at 54. It is wide receiver Sky Moore.
There he is. Yeah, one of the boomer bust guys in this draft, man. He's really shifty, really twitchy. He's a slot receiver. Get him in space and watch him go. That's the kind of the guy. But can he beat press coverage? Can he beat physical guys at the line? He's very small, but he's very fast.
Yeah, we were lower on him than the other sites were. I was the highest on him at 47. You and Mark.
I never bought it. He's so tiny. Like, I never bought it. And you tell me why I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that you are. He's so small. What's crazy is that as small as he is, his hands are huge, and he has absolutely no drop issues. But he ran a decent 40 at a 4.41. It's not burner speed, but just so small. That's concerning for me. For a team like the Chiefs, though, who splits Travis Kelce out so much, I can see the fit there. And it looks like the pick is in for the Arizona Cardinals. It is Trey McBride, the tight end out of Colorado State. That's actually a really surprising pick to me for Cliff Kingsbury. He's a guy that likes to put 4 receivers out on the field with a running back. So that's a little bit surprising for me, but I do like Trey McBride. What did you think about him?
Trey McBride's nice. I actually would have taken him over Cam freaking Jurgens for the Eagles here. Yeah, Trey McBride is a solid prospect, but I think this is pretty good value. I wouldn't say value, but pretty good place for Trey McBride to be picked. The tight end class in this draft is absolutely terrible. I thought he was going to go a little bit higher, to be honest. But here we are. So Trey McBride is a fine tight end prospect. Where did we have him on my board? 60.
He was 43 on your board, 45 on Mark, 66 on mine. Overall, he was the consensus number 49 player for us and tight end 1 in the class. Context
is really important there. So I thought he was going to be selected around like 43. But I don't think like the running backs, like I all those like top tight ends in this class somewhat mesh together. But I did expect a day 2 selection for Trey McBride. And in my video, I did have him number 1 in my rankings. Is one of those guys that I don't think moves the needle whatsoever. I think maybe he has the potential to be a number 1 tight end starter. So in the round 2, yeah, that's a reach.
So the Cowboys pick is in. Are they about to take Nakobe Dean? They love their linebackers.
Shane, I'm about to start drinking really heavy here now. I'm sorry.
I think Bernard Raymond would be a really good pick for the Cowboys here. Give him some – he's a guy that's raw. He needs some time, but he's 24. He's only played the position 2 years. I could see him being a really good piece for the Cowboys here, to be honest.
Yeah, I had him rated pretty high, I think. I like that guy a lot.
He is 46th on your board. He's 38th on mine. I was by far the highest on him.
I can't believe Daniel Falele hasn't been picked yet, too. Like that would be a really good selection.
Travis Jones and Perion Winfrey, DeMarvin Leal, some interior defensive linemen would also be good picks for them. Yeah. They can't go linebacker, though. They can't go linebacker again.
I'm quote tweeting this guy, this Toronto Raptors reporter, because he was praising the play that Pascal Siakam elbowed Joel Embiid into the face. Old school. I'm quote tweeting like nonstop.
The Cowboys pick is in. It is Sam Williams, the edge out of Mississippi.
Sam Williams. There you go.
You just mentioned him a few minutes ago, didn't you?
I think that
was Rufus that mentioned him.
Yeah, but he's not on my big board. I think it's Mark. And
now the Buffalo Bills are on the clock. I would love to see the Bills go get a running back here. They need one.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Now, Williams was 76 on my big board. He was 92 on the consensus big board.
Yeah, I don't even think I had him ranked.
56.
Did I have him ranked? I don't think I did.
You did not. He's not in your top 110 or how many ever you ended up doing. Oh, the pick was traded. Now the Buccaneers are on the clock.
All right.
Rufus said Rufus is the one that mentioned Williams. He likes Williams a lot and just saw him go to the Cowboys. So that's always frustrating when a guy like that ends up with a division rival. I'm not seeing anywhere what the trade was, just that there was a trade. So if anybody knows the details on that trade, what the Buccaneers gave up, let me know. I'm shocked that there has only been one quarterback in the top 50. Usually you get quarterbacks with warts and teams talk themselves into them and they overdraft. And this year it's like the opposite's happening. They're all scared that, I don't know, they're all scared they're going to get made fun of if they take a quarterback. I don't know. It's crazy.
Quentin says Embiid needs to get a Rip Hamilton. So what I'm really happy about is like I quote tweeted this guy and now like I just checked his like Twitter tweet and it's like going like crazy by Sixers fans. Everyone go mess this guy's up. Louis Zatzman, a Toronto Raptors beat reporter, go fuck him up. Please, because he was praising Joel Embiid's injury.
The Bills moved back from 57 to 60 and they picked up pick 180. So moved back 3 spots and they got pick 180. Those are the types of deals I would have loved to have seen Howie do at 51. Move back a couple spots, pick up a day 3 pick, get some more darts to throw.
Quentin, we were up like 27. Oh, man. I'm about to like flip this fucking table. Anyway, where are we at? I need to like recap where we're at. I'm not even.
Bucks are on the clock here.
All right.
The Bucks traded up from 60 to 57. They gave up pick 180 in the process, so they're on the clock. And apparently traded up, and they don't know who they want because they're just sitting here. So we're just waiting.
All right.
Rufus says he should have traded back. He could have taken Juergens with 180.
Right, Rufus? Like, it's so stupid. Just trade back, coward. Trade back.
Howie.
Listen, I'm overly excited about A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith next year. That's going to be so much fun. But I got to say, like, yeah, Jordan Davis is a top 20 pick. That was a good selection. But you passed on Kyle Hamilton. You passed on Nakobe Dean. There are certainly question marks in this draft, 100%.
At this point, I'm almost certain that the majority of the teams in the NFL don't have Nakobe Dean on their draft board because of medical red flags.
There's got to be something, right?
Yeah. When a guy falls this far like this, it's always something like that. There's something we don't know.
Gotta be.
League does.
Gotta be. All right, Buccaneers pick is in. I think we definitely lost Mark for the rest of the night. I'm sure we lost Rob for the rest of the night, I'm sure. Rob was supposed to jump on, but now probably not anymore. I'm sure he's drinking.
Ben Baldwin on Twitter tweeted, the Seahawks, a team with 1 million holes on their roster, have Rashad Penny at $5.5 million cap hit, Chris Carson at $6.1 million cap hit, and they spent their 41st pick on a running back. The Buccaneers pick is in. They took guard Luke Godecki from Central Michigan.
Yeah, I had him in my top 10.
All right, talk about him for a second. He was not in my top 10.
No, I'm reading about Cam Juergens right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to catch up right now. I'm shocked. I'm in shock. I'm speechless of this news. I got to find out how serious this injury is to Joel Embiid. But this was like a double whammy, man. We went from Cam freaking Juergens to Joel Embiid with an orbital injury, and there's no timetable for his return. So sorry, Shane. I got multiple things happening right now.
Luke Godecki out of Central Michigan, he was not ranked by any of us. He was PFF's number 100 guy. The Draft Network had him at 166 consensus. He was at 122. So he goes off the board at 57 to the Buccaneers, who have a big hole with Ali Marpet leaving. So I guess they'll try to plug that hole here in the second round. And it looks like the next pick is already in from the Falcons, although we don't know what it is yet.
Whoa.
Rufus says Howie should only be able to trade and he should hire somebody else to draft. I wouldn't hate it.
We've been saying that for years, dude.
What if the whole league just decides not to draft quarterbacks and just make them all UDFAs?
All right, we got to change the channel here. ESPN is just moved to a basketball game. Oh, Cam Jurgens. He's that was quite the pickle. That was quite the pickle of a draft pick, right, Shane?
Yeah. I'm just disappointed Bryant wasn't in the chat giving us puns.
I know. Where's Bryant?
He said he might not make it tonight.
Oh man.
All right, announce this pick. It's in. The Falcons have made the pick. The Vikings are on the clock. What is it?
All right.
We are 7 picks away from the end of the second round, and there's only been one quarterback taken.
That's insane.
Like at what point does the value just become too good? Like I thought we were already there, but apparently we were not. The pick is in for the Falcons. At pick 58, they take linebacker Troy Anderson. Troy Anderson out of Montana State. So now the Buffalo Bills are on the clock. It looks like the Bills traded up.
Oh, Troy Anderson, nice, man.
Yeah, Troy Anderson was 56 on your board. You were higher on him than any of the rest of us were.
This is the Swiss Army knife of the draft, man. You can play offense, defense, really good size, 6'3", 6'4". But I think his best position is at the linebacker spot. He's one of those guys, like, he's just a football player. He's really interesting, man. Like, he kind of is new to the position. I think he was a quarterback. I could be wrong there. I think he was a former quarterback. So he's obviously got great instincts. Yeah, you'll see him as a running back here as they're showing highlights. But he definitely played quarterback in different spots, mostly just running the football. There he is. They're now showing him back in 2018. So he's a really intriguing prospect. Great athleticism. Great feel for the ball, great instincts. Obviously, he's a quarterback. So I had this guy on my radar for day 2 for the Eagles for sure. I would have much preferred this than Cam Jurgens.
Yeah. I would have preferred a lot of things over Cam Jurgens. Here we are. Poor guy. Imagine someday Cam Jurgens stumbles across this live stream.
I hope so. And by the way, I'm going to say that every single pick for the rest.
And then he mentions it in his Hall of Fame speech.
Any press is good press, man.
So apparently Jason Kelsey said that Cam Jurgens was his favorite player in the draft. So athletic, so fast. Kelsey helped the Eagles scout him.
Okay. I believe it. Whatever.
So if true.
He's towing that company line, man. Let's be honest.
Yeah. If true, I'd like it. Don't know if I believe it, but I'd like it. The Minnesota Vikings at 59 take guard Ed Ingram out of LSU.
Ed Ingram's nice.
Bills are now on the clock at 60.
Yeah, we're starting that offensive line run that I talked about earlier, seemingly, right?
Yep. Seems like it. We talked about we were surprised some of these guys weren't going.
Yeah, now it seems to be in full effect right now. We'll see what happens. Let's go. The last few picks were linemen. Cam Jurgens there, obviously.
Ed Ingram.
Yeah, I've got Ed Ingram on my list.
Oh, I was about to say something dumb. I was about to say, why does it say Louisiana State? He went to LSU. And then I caught myself, and then I said it anyways. So right. I had him at 75 overall. You and Mark didn't have him in your top 100. But
what?
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, I did. I remember I did make a video of him But I remember he was like my honorable mention, and I put he's a tackle, right?
Now he's a guard.
He's a guard? Crap.
Mhm.
I don't know where my notes are for guards. I don't remember, to be honest. I mean, it's so long ago. I can't think right now.
He played left guard and right guard at LSU. He can do either guard position. He could maybe play a little bit of tackle. Just overall kind of a versatile, high athletic or high IQ type of player. So good pick there for them. I like it.
Yeah, he's solid. There's like I had that guy on my interior. I think so. But anyway, a lot happening in Sixers world right now. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. That being said, I'm going to make a drink. I'll be right back.
All right, so the Bills are up here. The Bills need to get a running back at some point in this draft. There's not really a running back that I like here, though. Maybe Isaiah Spiller. It really feels too early for some of these running backs, though. Trying to think through what the Bills could do here. They could actually, the Bills should take Bernard Raymond. You can never have, they could use a right tackle to begin with. I don't know that you want Raymond to start right away, but he is a guy that I was pretty high on. So I would like Bernard Raymond for them. And they could always go to the interior, the defensive line too, with their pick of Travis Jones, DeMarvin Leal, Perrion Winfrey. I think Travis Jones would be a guy that they would like most out of that group, though. And they've already taken a corner. They took Kyer Elam. I don't think they would take another, but if they did, Tariq Woolen would be a really interesting prospect with his length, his physicality, and his speed. So just a few things. Oh, and as I go through that, they have traded out, and now the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. And so Bengals, let me look. I can't remember what they ended up doing in round one right now. Oh, yeah, that's right. So the Bengals took Dax Hill. And so they could use an edge rusher. They could maybe use a cornerback. Both of those could be options. Nick Benito, Drake Jackson are both edge rushers that are here available. And you get into the same guys we've talked about at cornerback. Tariq Woolen, Zion McCollum, Josh Jobe, some of those guys, Cam Taylor-Britt. So there's some different options there, but the Bengals have come up, and the pick is in. The 49ers are now on the clock, but I still don't know what the Bengals selection was. Waiting on the pick here. If you guys are watching here live, drop us some stuff in the chat. Give us some comments, some questions. Ask Dibes what his favorite candy is. It doesn't even have to be draft related, as we kind of kill time with these picks. So throw them up here. We'd love to just hang out. And
I would,
guys.
I would love to talk movies, TV right now. Anything to deflect my sorrows right now. Anything that's non-sports related. Let's bring the comments. I'm hurting. I was like, this is like pure panic mode for Sixers fans right now.
I hate it when it pops up and says the pick is in, and then it won't tell you what the pick is.
I know. It started really fast, no? Like, it was like they were like bang, 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 and then it started to slow down. I don't know what that deal is. All I know is I just wish I was at a pool party, doing my thing with one of those like awesome Vegas pool parties right now.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to one?
No.
It's like one of my regrets.
We do pool parties a little different in Oklahoma.
No, like I've been to Vegas for bachelor parties and stuff, but we've never done one of those like pool parties that are like crazy, crazy, crazy. I kind of wish I did though.
Coyle asks if you've ever seen Old Yeller. Coyle, we're trying to cheer people up here. Get that out of here.
You're literally bringing up the saddest movie of all time.
It makes me think of have you ever watched? I'm sure you have. You ever watched Friends?
Of course I've watched Friends. Yeah.
So like the episode where Phoebe finds out her mom lied to her whole childhood because it never showed her the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And she thought it was just a happy movie about kids that got a dog.
So what's funny about that is that's totally me, 100%. So my dog's over there sleeping. There she is, sleeping on the couch. I'm a dog person. I'm a dog lover, big time. And I'm the same way. I love dog movies, but like the second you start to see that dog like age in the movie, I turn that shit off so fast because I can't handle it emotionally. Like I am a wreck with those things. So anyway, Bengals pick is in. What's the Bengals pick?
The Bengals pick is cornerback Cam Taylor-Britt.
There you go.
The better Cam to take.
The better Cam.
So Cam Taylor-Britt is a cornerback out of Nebraska. Funnily enough, is that a word? Funnily? Mark and I both had him at 81 overall. And what you guys need to know is that we did these boards totally independent of each other and then dumped it all in here. And so somehow we both ended up with him as our as 81 on our big board.
Yeah. Yeah, Marley and me is really good.
49ers pick is also in.
Saddest movie of all time. Have you seen it, Shane?
Marley and Me?
No, it's not Marley and Me. It's a movie with Frankie Muniz when he was young called My Dog Skip. If you have seen that movie in the chats, let me know.
I've seen that.
Like uncontrollable crying at the end of that film. Uncontrollable. Like next level crying. Like where you literally like you can't even breathe. It is the saddest ending of a movie I've ever seen. Period. My Dog Skip. Never watched that movie. If you no, take it off. No. Oh my God, My Dog Skip is so sad, man. That is. Oh man, that's one of those movies where like you just like hold your dog during the movie, and you're just like you'll literally sleep next to your dog. Even if it's not in your bed, it's that sad.
Mrs. Crockpot says that Old Yeller, or no, I'm not sure if she's saying Old Yeller or Marley and Me is the worst, but she is not a fan of Coyle's movie suggestions here. Quentin said I was thinking of checking out the Channing Tatum dog movie.
I heard it's good. I heard it's really good.
Yeah, Chris Coyle talks about My Dog Skip. Miss Crockpot says that one is extremely sad, and yeah.
Well,
that's where we're at. That's the portion of the draft that we're at. I do want to just say, though, briefly in the football talk, that I did say the Bengals were trading up for a corner, and they did. So, I got that.
There's these like Christian-based dog movies that I can't remember the title, but they're so freaking good. Dennis Quaid was in it. What is that movie called? It's so well done. It has no right being that good. And I remember just loving it to death.
A Dog's Purpose.
What's that?
A Dog's Purpose.
That's it. It's so good.
I literally just Googled Dennis Quaid dog movie because I had no idea what you were talking about.
So there's two of them, and they're both equally awesome. They're really well done. If you love dogs, totally recommend. It's a little religious, but I promise you it's worth it. It's still really, really well done.
I'm more of a cat person. But I like dogs. I've got a cat and a dog.
Okay.
The cat's just an inside cat, and the dog's an outside dog. So I work from home, so I'm around the cat a lot more.
No worries. I get it. I've never been a cat. I've never grown up around cats. I've never had interest in cats. But every now and then I come across someone who has a cat that acts like a dog, and I like it.
Ooh, we're burying the lead here. The 49ers pick is in, and this is their first pick in the draft so far. So we have not talked about the 49ers at all. So they could use a corner, edge rusher, a guard. Maybe they could use another quarterback since apparently they're allergic to playing Trey Lance. Where do we think the 49ers go? I didn't realize they hadn't made a pick yet.
Probably something better than Cam freaking Jurgens.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
I'm sorry, Shane. I'm starting to get drunk. This is it's time. Everything's panic mode right
So
now.
the Eagles need to trade up for somebody here, and so we can sign off and go to bed.
I don't know if I'm going to bed, but maybe I'll watch a dog movie. Maybe I could probably use a good cry. That's not a bad idea.
I'll tell you what I could do right now is Age of Empires dropped their newest DLC yesterday, and
What
I
is
haven't
it?
even Dynasties of India. So it's 3
Cool.
new civs, and they added 4 new campaigns, and I haven't even turned the game on because of all the draft stuff.
Is that
It's
on?
just the worst timing ever.
Is that on Game Pass?
I think 4 is. I'm not sure if 2 is.
All right. Good.
But-
Talk about a game I really miss. Like that's Age of Empires 2 is one of the greatest games of all time. Easy.
Yeah. Okay, the pick is in. The 49ers have selected Drake Jackson, the edge rusher out of USC. This is a guy that we've talked about some. As a guy that we were a little surprised was still on the board. So Drake Jackson is now off the board, and he goes to the 49ers.
Yeah, Drake Jackson's nice, man. Like he's not going to give you that much versatility. He's not going to give you that much against the run. But Drake Jackson, like he had a late season injury last year, but you look at his pass rushing grade and that improvement, 666.6 to 87.7 this year. Like he's made major improvements. I had a rounds 1 through 2 grade on Drake Jackson. This is that drop off that are why I wanted David Ajabo. Like I think Ajabo has 3 down edge rusher starter in the NFL. I think Drake Jackson's going to be a really good player in the NFL, but I think he's more so going to be a rotational guy on passing downs, passing situations, 3rd and longs type of dude. So that's a little bit on Drake Jackson. I think it's a good selection, though, at this area. I think that's right along where he should have been selected. And I would have taken him over Cam Jurgens.
Per The Athletic, the Panthers and Browns are in active trade talks surrounding a Baker Mayfield trade.
What? Cool.
Carolina is going to want Cleveland to pick up, quote, a good chunk of Mayfield's $18.8 million salary. So not only are the quarterbacks falling in the draft, but now people are like, you know what? We wanted them if they fell. Now they're falling. They're like, you know what? I'm still good. I'm going to go ahead and call about Baker.
So I had Malik Willis like in the, 20s, 30s?
29. You had him 29. Mark 27. I had him 20.
Yeah, he's a better player than all these guys. I talk harshly, probably too much on Malik Willis, but I'm shocked at how far he's fallen. Like some of these other guys, like Nakobe Dean, there's something else we don't know right now.
Yeah.
I know, Jimmy. We got Cam Jurgens, not the pickle, the center. He is a Jason Kelsey light player that's very athletic, very small, that will probably just spend in the weight room, learning under Jason Kelsey. There might be some benefits to that in a couple years, but you look at just not the best use of resources. Like that's the take. Is that Nakobe Dean was there, Christian Harris was there, Nick Cross, Kirby Joseph, like Tariq Woolen. There are so many guys there that could play tomorrow. Whereas I think Cam Jurgens is. I'm not going to lie. Like I need to find out who this guy is because I did research on the interior offensive line. He was not on my list at all. And it's a really frustrating pick, man. It's a really frustrating pick. We have Mark Henry saying Joel and Jurgens have pain. I'm hurting, man. I'm hurting. This all sucks. I'm going to drink this pain away and I'm going to forget it like it never happened. And no, I'm just kidding. It's just going to be probably the same thing tomorrow.
So We have now officially closed out the second round. Pick 62 has been made. The Chiefs select safety Brian Cook out of Cincinnati.
I like that kid. It's a good player. Good player. I mean, I would have taken him over Cam Jurgens. Yeah, so Brian Cook is part of that amazing Cincinnati defense that we know. He's got elite versatility. He's aligned as a one high safety, split zone, in the box, in the slot. He's been all over the place for the Bearcats, and he's a really good tackler. Really good tackler. Not a very good guy in coverage. You don't want to put him there, but it's worth noting that 2021 was the first year of his career that he logged more than 220 snaps on the defensive side of the football. So he's a work in progress. He's a project for sure. But you look at that guy, Brian Cook will be a stud on special teams 100%, and I would rather take him over Cam Jurgens.
So we've got a comment coming in from YouTube, says Jurgens may seem to be a reach, but the Eagles know how to draft offensive linemen. Quentin.
Then trade down. Then
says except for the firefighter. Coyle says he will turn into probably a great center, but it's not a second round pick. The problem, the Eagles do know how to draft and develop offensive line and defensive line. The problem is that there are more than linemen on the field in a football game, and for years the Eagles have overinvested on the offensive line and had nobody that could catch a football. And they have overinvested on the defensive line, and they've had no one that can cover a receiver. And that's why we are where we are.
They have such a huge hole at cornerback. Simon McCollum would have been a better pick than Cam Jurgens. The list goes on and on. On and on. I don't get it. It's Howie, the weasel, trying to be the smartest one in the room yet again. If he came over to me and wanted a high five, I would have said, fuck you, and bailed. He would not be getting my high five tonight, even though I love round one. This sucks. Jimmy says how he wants that beef jerky. I don't even know what that means. Jerky? All right. What about Joel Embiid? Biggest news of the night, Rebecca. It's a major. We're still trying to find out how serious this injury is, as it stands. But it's not good, Rebecca. It's not good, especially when Raptors fans were celebrating Pascal Siakam jamming his elbow into the dome of Joel Embiid. Toronto Raptors fans are the worst, Rebecca. They are the absolute worst. They're classless. Get them out. It sucks.
So the Bills just took James Cook, the running back out of Georgia. I love
man. Good selection. Good selection, man. James Cook is the elite receiving running back in this class. Great speed as well. I wonder if this is the start of the running back run on running backs here with James Cook and Kyron Williams, Damian Pierce. Maybe we get some running backs here in round two at the back end.
So according to our big board, that's a pretty big reach. We had him 96 consensus, but I love that fit for the Bills. Cook is so good out of the backfield in the passing game, and it's just going to fit really well with what the Bills are trying to do offensively. I love that pick for the Bills.
Yeah, James Cook, I like that kid a lot. If you watched any of our mocks, I had him going to the Eagles many, many times. So it's a really good selection for the Bills. He's a fun player, and I hope he gets I kind of see him having that same role in the NFL, and that's fine. There's probably not a lot of tread on those tires as well. So it's a really good selection.
Right. So I misspoke earlier. I said we were closing out the first round. The second round. We are now about to close out the second round. The Broncos at 64 are making the final selection of the first round. The pick is in, but we don't know what it is yet. Jimmy on YouTube says that Cam Jurgens has a beef jerky company, apparently.
What?
Is that legit?
I don't know, but that's the new firefighter, 100%.
He's gonna quit after like 2 years to go run his beef jerky company.
Or he's the new Sauce Castillo who has his own hot sauce company. That's funny. I didn't know that. Can you pull that up and we can share it?
See if I can find it somewhere.
There's got to be a website.
The Broncos close out the first round with the selection of Nick Bonito, the edge rusher out of Oklahoma. Another pick that I really like. Finishing out the second round strong here.
KC Arnold Crew says when Cam Jurgens is pulling down the line and blowing up linebackers 10 yards downfield, we'll know it was the biggest news of the night. I love that optimism. Thank you. We need that. Bring some more of that. We need all of that because things are not good right now.
Here we go. BeefJerky.com.
Get out of here.
Beef Jerky's Beef Jerky. The wait is finally over. Get Beef Jerky's very own beef jerky, proudly produced in Nebraska. Okay, so it's from Nebraska. I don't see confirmation that. Oh, no, here we go.
Shane, ready for this? This is what we're doing. If you buy one, I'll buy one, and we'll live stream our reaction to the beef jerky.
Let's do it. I'm down.
All right. Can you send me a link, or I can just Google it?
Yeah.
I'll buy it right now. We'll do a live stream. Was the pick worth it? Yeah, it's pretty good jerky. Oh, that's great. Beef jerky.
I'm tweeting about this now. How do you spell his name?
All right, are you serious? You're buying it? Because I'll buy it.
I'll do it. I love beef jerky.
I know, me too. I'm a big fan. All right, so we're gonna do a taste test of Cam Jurgens, beef Jurgens.
He's right. He's going to be sold out. They put it on ABC.
No, we got to do this now.
Oh, we're canceling Mark right now. He says beef jerky is gross.
Oh, that's not. No. 5 to 8 business days. I got to get my credit card.
So I got a question. Did Cam Jurgens just make more money by getting drafted? Like, is he going to make more money out of his NFL contracts or out of his beef jerky sales? All right, for some reason, my third round tracker is not loading here. I don't even know if a pick's been made. The pick is in for the Jaguars. We, however, do not know what it is.
All right, I'm doing this right now.
Oh, I don't. Dang, I'm gonna have to go get my card too. Dang it. What does Facebook Pay? Do I have Facebook Pay? Hey, I have Facebook Pay. No, I don't. Dang it.
Gotta buy it before it sells out.
Rebecca asks, is Jalen Reagor out the door yet, along with J-Jaw, the so-called now tight end? No movement there so far. Maybe a day 3 pick for a Reagor type deal later. Jimmy says he's got 1,000 messages from beef farmers on his Instagram right now trying to get in. Definitely going to make more money on jerky than on his contract.
I just bought it. I just bought some. We're going to do a taste testing on this channel. next week, man. I'm excited. It's probably going to taste like shit, just like this draft pick.
Luke Fortner is the pick for the Jaguars.
I would have taken Luke Fortner over Cam Jurgens, 100%. Yeah, his numbers as a center are outstanding.
I wouldn't have taken him over Jurgens.
No, I liked him a lot. Yeah, we're in the jerky business now, Shane.
All right, I'm gonna go get my credit. Oh, well, you walked away again. If anybody in our YouTube chat wants to drop their credit card information, I will buy beef jerky on your card. Don't really do that. Dive's curious for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I got it. Coyle, are you getting some jerky? It just got sold out. Is that for real? I just ordered mine. I just ordered a pack. It was like $8. It was $8. So I got in. I'm sure that's going to be like the biggest thing right now. Cam Jurgens, beef Jurgens. All right. Yeah. The draft tracker's not working. That is interesting. Wow. Just got sold out. Quentin Moore says, sold out. I got mine. That's so crazy. Nicole says, what did you just... So, the Eagles' second-round selection is from Nebraska, and he has his own beef jerky company called Beef Jerky, because his name's Cam Jurgens. Beef Jerky. And I just bought a pack, and we're going to do a taste test, and it's probably going to taste just like Howie Roseman's drafting. Stale, tasteless, needs seasoning. Coyle says, when to check out, and said, oh, sold out. Oh, no. Quentin says,
is it really sold out? I think I have one in my cart. So I'm hearing, me get it.
We're getting multiple comments that it's sold out. I got mine. I'm just telling
you right now, if this is sold out, it's going to make this draft the worst.
Somehow I got in. I got my confirmation.
Oh, no. Out of stock.
Are you serious?
I'm so sad.
That is...
All right. So, Dives, when you get yours, I need you to open it and then put like a piece in a Ziploc baggie and mail it to me.
Sure.
And then we can do our live test.
That seems like a lot of work.
Remind me later, like when it's back in stock, because I definitely want to get some and do that.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple picks here. The Vikings at 66 selected linebacker Brian Asamoah, which is another, I don't have my screen shared, but another Oklahoma guy, a guy that I was pretty high on. Another one of those linebackers that I would have liked to have maybe seen the Eagles take. But Brian Asamoah off the board at 66, as the Eagles can't have nice things. And then at 67, the Giants take Joshua, I don't know how to say that last name, a guard out of North Carolina.
It's sold out so soon. Let's hope this isn't foreshadowing his NFL career. That's so funny. By the way, Sam Howell's not even like in the picture anymore. His whole family is just sitting there. They're probably through their like 20th wine bottle. Oh, he's back. Sam Howell's back. He just sat down. It's probably not a good idea to drink wine on that beautiful white couch. I'm just saying. All right, so I'm really excited to try this beef jerky.
I'm so mad I didn't get one. So I just want to let's talk about this. So, film study, preparation, mental preparation is a big part of success in the NFL, right? This guy knows he's about to get drafted, and he doesn't stock up his beef jerky company, so he's got enough for all the influx of fans. I mean, come on, this clearly shows that he's not going to take his preparation seriously at the NFL level.
I'm just mad I did not see the at the top it said buy 5 for 35. I would have done that in a heartbeat. I did not see that at all. I just bought one. And I think with taxes it was like $12. I got mine. And it said it's going to ship in a week. But now that like this happened, who knows how long that's going to take. That sucks. Chris Coyle recap. We reached first center. Embiid's out. Embiid Turkey's sold out.
So here is a consensus big board versus picks. Somebody tweeted out. So the further to the right, the bigger reach. The further to the left, the biggest steal. And so for the second round in a row, the Patriots go for the biggest reach with Tyquan Thornton. The Eagles are not terribly far behind with Cam Jurgens at 51. Looks like only the Patriots and the Saints had a bigger reach. Maybe the Giants in the second round. And then on the steal side, you of course have Andrew Booth, David Ojabo, all these guys we've been talking about all night showing up on the steal side.
Where does this fall rank for Nakobe Dean and Malik Willis in the history of the draft? Like this is getting a little crazy here.
I mean, the Aaron Rodgers first round fall.
That was the first round.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first round. We're now in the third.
Well, no, I know, but that's a quarterback that was expected to be a very high pick that almost fell out of the first round. I remember they pulled him off of the draft floor. I think of like the Laramie Tunsil fall with the gas mask thing, which was just crazy, but he still went first round.
Yeah, he was top 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, plenty of whiskey happening right now, Coyle. Plenty of whiskey. Rebecca says Embiid out-tops the jerky sold out for the terrible night. At least it's making me laugh somewhat. We went from terribly sad dog movies to a funny jerky situation. At least it's making me somewhat feel better.
I'm now searching out the most unexpected free agent falls, or the most unexpected draft falls.
Quinn says, what?
It has number one as Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
Thought to be a top 5 pick, fell all the way to 24.
What about Brady Quinn? He fell, right?
Yeah. Dan Marino is the number 2 on this list.
All I remember is Brady Quinn like being sad for like an hour. Like he had that sad face.
5 quarterbacks were selected ahead of Dan Marino in the 1983 NFL draft. Can you name any of them? Anybody in the chat without Googling it?
Dude, I'm not even thinking right now. Like this is just not the time. I'm getting drunk off my ass, and I'm enjoying this right now because I'm terribly sad.
Ken O'Brien, John Elway, Tony Eason, Jim Kelly, and Todd Blackledge. Rumors were swirling that Marino might have a drug issue that caused him to fall.
Rufus says Ken O'Brien. Was that on the list?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was one of them.
Rufus says, I'm praying Howie doesn't decide Matt Corral is a great pick. Come on, man. I can't. Oh, Martin Emerson to the Browns is a really good pick. I would much rather have Martin Emerson over Cam Jurgens. So I'm just saying that now.
Brady Quinn was anticipated to be a top 5 pick, and he fell to 22.
So there it is. Yeah. Martin Emerson has really good length for a corner, has starting outside corner potential. Would have taken him over Cam Jurgens. Coyle says the Phillies are losing to the Mets 3-0. Ray Finkel. I love it, man. I love that movie so much. So much. I need to watch Ace Ventura again. I haven't seen it. I'm one of the degenerates that will say Ace Ventura 2 is actually better than the first one. Come at me. If you disagree with that, I want to hear it because I think pound for pound, Ace Ventura 2 When Nature Calls is a funnier movie than Ace Ventura 1.
Did you know that? Do you know where Dan Marino went to college?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
No, he's from. Yeah.
He went to Pitt. He was a legend at Pitt, and the Steelers famously passed on him in the 1983 draft. So we bring it full circle to them drafting Kenny Pickett to avoid that happening again.
That's interesting. That's really cool. That'd be a really good article. That'd be really fun. I would be curious what Dan Marino thinks about that.
Marino went 27th in that draft.
That's really interesting. There's some weird parallels there.
Yeah, I had no idea. I didn't even know Marino went to Pitt. That was a little before my time.
Quentin says Miami must have leaked that rumor on Marino. Jimmy says 2 is definitely better. And Quill says getting Nakobe Dean at 83. What is the Nakobe Dean story? Like, what did we miss? Like, that is the biggest fall of this draft, easily.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like this guy out of Ohio State. I think he's a really good tackle. Nicholas Petit-Frere is going to the Titans.
Austin Gale from PFF just said, per sources, Georgia linebacker Nakobe Dean declined surgery on his shoulder, and it is now a major concern / medical red flag for the majority of NFL teams.
Wow. That's crazy. All right, so let's get into Petit-Frere. Day 2 guy, I had him pegged. That seems to be right on the money. He has lean frame. He has really good length. He played both tackle and guard at Ohio State. He's got pretty good athleticism, not elite, but he's got really quick feet. He's really good at getting to the second level when he needs to. Not very twitchy, not very fluid for his size, which is expected. His handwork is not great. He needs to learn his technique at the next level for sure. But he's pretty much average against the pass, in the run game. So I think this is a pretty good selection. I would have rather taken him over Cam Jurgens. I'm going to clip all of these, by the way.
You should clip every time. It'd be nice if you could just search it. Search for every time that it said, who said Cam Jurgens.
Mark Henry says a fantastic 30 for 30 Elway to Marino. I got to check that out. I've never seen it. Stamper is right. I feel guilty. I heard MB said they broke my face, and I laughed because he thought he was being dramatic. If anyone would know if the face is broken, it's Embiid. Fool me once. I talked to Matty B about that last night. All right. Rufus Rogers says, didn't they pass on him because the Dolphins coach told him when he failed a drug test for weed? Do you know anything about that?
I don't.
Mark Henry says it's a 30 for 30 that takes you through the first round of the 1984 draft. It's the best 30 for 30 ever. I'm going to watch that. I'd rather watch that than watch Cam Jurgens highlights.
The Jacksonville Jaguars at pick 70 take Chad Muma, the linebacker out of Wyoming.
I'd rather have him than Cam Jurgens.
Legit, I would rather have him than Cam Jurgens. Chad Muma is a linebacker that we were both really high on. He's a really athletic guy, pretty good in coverage. Might have some troubles in the run game, but he's got really good athleticism and just a will linebacker that you can plug in. I love that pick for the Jaguars. I would have loved that pick for anybody, honestly, at this spot.
He's one of my favorite players in this draft. I've had him pegged to the Eagles from day one, like literally from January, as a day 2 guy for the Eagles. 6'3", 242 pounds. Really good at getting off blocks, which is really surprising when you watch the tape at his size, which is a huge plus. I think he's got great versatility. He can play all 3 linebacker spots. He's a former safety, great in coverage, great tackler. He just screamed Jonathan Gannon linebacker, a guy that can just fill in wherever you want. He's got really good ball skills too. He had 3 interceptions last year. 2 of those were returned for touchdowns. So negatives, he's it is what it is. He doesn't have sideline to sideline speed. It's pretty much average for his position. He's not a great pass rusher, but he didn't do it that much for Wyoming. So who knows about that? But Chad Muma was easily one of my favorite players in round 2. I think this is one of the better picks for the Chicago Bears, period.
This was the Jaguars.
Oh, was it Jaguars? I just saw it. Bears.
Which they already took. They traded up for Devin Lloyd. So they've taken 2 linebackers now.
Wow, really? Jaguars? Who's the other one?
They traded up for Devin Lloyd. Remember it? I think it was.
They got Devin Lloyd and Chad Muma?
Uh-huh.
That's fun. That's fun. I'll definitely be following that next year.
But I think it's safe to say that Doug Peterson is not the reason that the Eagles never invested into the linebacker position.
Yeah, that's a good guess. Man, all right, so where are the Eagles at? 84, I think?
83.
83, so we got 12 picks to go.
To be honest, I really dislike that pick. Now that I remember that they got Devin Lloyd, they should have gone somewhere else here.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the Jaguars literally have needs everywhere. They could have gone and taken one of these interior defensive linemen that we've got ranked highly. They could have taken, I don't know, they could have taken one of these corners, Kobe Bryant. There's a lot of things I think I would have rather seen them do than go with another linebacker.
There's a wide receiver I've never heard of. Velus Jones Jr. How about it? I don't know who the hell that is. I never heard of him.
The Bears finally take a wide receiver, and it's a guy I've never heard of.
Never heard of him.
Velus Jones.
That's a cool name, though. I'm a big fan of the name. We have Rebecca saying great pick for the Bears.
I'm gonna look him up on the PFF big board and see.
Sounds like anybody like I'm getting like Roy Jones Jr. vibes, like Velus Jones Jr. Like he's his son or something. Sounds like a boxing name. I love it.
So PFF has Velus Jones as the 193rd ranked prospect.
Wow, 193rd.
193rd. Let me go look up his stats.
Holy cow! Holy cow!
Velus Jones Jr.
Bears. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right, Velus Jones Jr. 5 years in college at Tennessee, and it looks like all 5 years combined, he didn't break 1,500 yards. So his best season was his senior year, 62 receptions for 807 yards, 7 touchdowns. So there you go. Velus Jones. Let me go see if he's on as a relative athletic score. Yeah, I mean, they needed to do something for Justin Fields here. Just putting it, they should have taken a receiver a lot earlier. A 7.11 relative athletic score. He's 5'11 and a half, 204 pounds. He ran at 4.3, 140. Terrible agility, great straight line speed. So there is Velus Jones. Coyle says he's a kick returner. The next Devin Hester. Rebecca says, too bad we don't have Alex Singleton anymore at linebacker. I don't think anybody's even going to notice that he's gone, if I'm being honest. Okay, so the Seahawks are on the board here at 72. The pick is in. We're waiting on it. I just got to wonder how far these quarterbacks are going to fall. Like at a certain point, a team like the Seahawks that desperately needs a quarterback, Drew Lock is not their answer. Like the value is just too good to pass up at this point. How, if you're the Seahawks, do you not at least take a shot on one of these quarterbacks?
I don't understand why Malik Willis is falling so much. It's crazy.
We did have some concern when you were gone there, concern that our captain was missing. So the people are happy to see you back, Dibes.
I'm the captain?
Apparently, yeah.
I'm the drunk one. That's what I'm doing. I'm drinking until I forget this night ever happened.
So, I guess we can. Any chance Howie likes Jurgen's speed and is going to switch him?
I love it so much. Oh man,
Oh, that was good. That was
Comment
good.
of the day. Comment of the day. You just wanted a pickle. No, that was not as good.
Cam Jurgens ran a 4.92 40-yard dash. I wonder who the slowest safety in the history of the combine is.
What was it? 4.93?
4.92.
Yeah.
The NFL's all slow team. Let me scroll down here to safety and see who we got. The all-time slow safety team. They have Keanu Neal on here? I thought Keanu Neal was fast. I guess he was fast when he moved to linebacker, maybe. Keanu Neal, John Johnson at the Rams, but they all ran in like the upper 4.5s. So
It's not ringing a bell. Look at that guy. That guy. I could never pull that off. That guy.
Rufus, if you tweet that at me, I will retweet you. That's hilarious. But I don't want to steal your line. But that's great.
Loving Shaquem Griffin is looking nice today. Abraham Lucas, offensive tackle out of Washington State to Seattle. Great
Seattle's
selection.
taken 2 offensive tackles now.
Great selection, man. He's a really, really solid prospect.
I would not have rather had Abraham Lucas than Cam Jurgens, though.
I definitely had Abraham Lucas in my rankings here. He was my number 10 offensive tackle. He allowed 4 sacks and 49 pressures in 4 years, 1 in 13 in the last 2 years. He had an RES score of 9.72 at the combine. That is legit. So he's one of the best pass protectors in this year's class, and he has really good size. So I like Abraham Lucas a lot. Mark,
Did you guys?
What's happening?
I'm getting shit faced right now.
Did you guys see the most recent pick here?
Abraham
Jelani
Lucas
Woods.
to the Seahawks. Where do you
Where?
73 to Indy.
No.
And reportedly, Desmond Ritter is going to the Falcons at 74.
Wow, I don't like that, but just
What is
compared to the other
happening?
quarterbacks. But
What is happening right now?
it's funny because I just sent you guys in our Discord a thing where because I heard Dives say Jelani Woods in round 5, and so I sent you a Discord saying Todd McShay thought he was going to go tonight, and there it was. So I thought that was interesting. Malik Willis, what is going on?
I don't know what's going on with Nakobe Dean.
Did you see the thing I sent you? It's a pec strain, and apparently people are all upset that he didn't get surgery. I don't understand why him not getting surgery is the choice. I feel like him getting surgery would be the more concerning injury, but I don't. People are apparently really concerned.
Quill said I just watched some Jurgens highlights and he's really jerky off the line.
Ha 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 ha.
Right, Mark, did you get your beef jerky?
I'm anti-jerky, fellas. I'm not a jerky guy. I'm a picky eater though, so I'm the weird one. I'm acknowledging I'm the weird one here, but I can't. It appears and smells and everything very gross to me.
I would rather
can't get into it.
You see who I said Ritter would be a great fit for here?
Did you say Atlanta?
Atlanta Falcons, except I said at 43.
Well, I just think taking him with Malik Willis on the board's a mistake.
I mean, I could see that one, but
yeah, I'm not as high on Ritter as you for sure. He looked really overwhelmed in some of the bigger games with Cincinnati. Ritter's like the classic case of a guy like I really, really wanted to like every time I watched Cincinnati, I wanted to be all in on Ritter because I liked Cincinnati's team last year. I like Luke Fickell as a head coach. I'm a college football guy, so I come at this a little differently as a college football fan. But I love that Cincinnati team last year with Kobe Bryant and obviously Sauce Gardner playing corners, Najee Sanders, Alec Pierce. And I wanted to like Desmond Ritter. But every time I would see something I would like from him, I would see like another thing that kind of brought up some concerns. You could say that about any of the quarterbacks in this draft. It's really, personal preference, I think. But Ritter is definitely concerning to me. I don't think there's a high ceiling with Ritter.
Yeah.
so,
Desmond Ritter over Malik Willis is a thing. Like I never in my wildest dreams did I think that was even remotely close to happening. How about this question? Any truth to the rumor that Jordan Davis will be running lead blocks for Jordan Mailata on the goal line? I think that's definitely in play. You could definitely do that.
if they were going to hand the ball off to Jordan Mailata, they would have done it years ago. However, Georgia did experiment with Jordan Davis as an extra offensive lineman in some of those big sets. So that
I think he got a touchdown or two as well.
Yeah, that could be possible, but they're definitely not going to hand the ball to Jordan Mailata. Did you, Mark? Have you been in the chat here? Did you hear Rufus's comment about Juergens?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think you could doubly say it for Jordan Davis too. Use that 4.7 speed, moving back to corner. I think we really need Jordan Davis' athleticism at cornerback. I keep hearing about his speed, and how good he is at sideline to sideline speed. Let's put him at a position he can actually use that, I guess.
It's true.
Jordan Davis will be our new tight end in about 2 months.
Yeah, him and J-Jaw.
Cornerback Jordan Davis and safety Cam Juergens.
So we're how many picks away now?
The Texans are on the clock at 75. The Eagles are at 83.
So 8, 9, something like that.
So Rebecca says the Eagles should draft Willis. We all know Hurts won't last past next year. I would say I would have done it at 51. I'd definitely do it at 83. The one negative there is how active Jalen Hurts was in getting A.J. Brown here. And so if you immediately go draft this guy, which I don't care, I'd do it anyways, but that's something to consider. By the way, did you guys see the video that went out on Twitter showing when the Titans called A.J. Brown 3 years ago at the draft to tell him they were drafting him? Did you guys see that?
No, I did not.
Jalen Hurts was there with him when that happened. Jalen Hurts was there with A.J. Brown when A.J. Brown got drafted. I'll see if I can find it here on Twitter and we can play it.
I would rather draft Malik Willis at 51 than Cam Juergens.
Not even close.
Like Kirby Joseph, Nick Cross, Tariq Woolen. What are we doing? Why are we drafting backups? Come on,
all the
man.
guys I wanted are still there, though. I guess all the guys I wanted at 51: Nakobe Dean, Christian Harris, Sean Ryan, Tariq Woolen, Malik Willis. They're all there.
Here you go. This is the video. A.J. Brown.
Hello. AJ. This is John Robinson with the Tennessee Titans. You remember me?
Yes, sir.
We're about to make you a Tennessee Titan, buddy.
That sounds great to me.
There's Jalen
That's
Hurts.
awesome.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you? I'm good.
Yo, so as a first-time father, I've never seen that video. And the fact that he's playing ball with his son, I'm all in on A.J. Brown. I might go buy my daughter an A.J. Brown jersey. That was awesome. I'm all in.
Christian Harris off the board at 75 to the Houston Texans.
That sucks. I don't have a positive spin there. That sucks.
I don't even care. The Eagles weren't going to take him anyways.
He visited. I don't know that they weren't going to take him. I'm sure they considered him at least.
We only spend third-round picks on linebackers if they've never played football before.
Yeah. He doesn't get much different. Christian Harris and Davion Taylor.
Yeah.
One played 3 years as a captain and a contributor in Nick Saban defense, and one has heard of football.
So Rufus is onto something here. He says we could draft Willis and we could run a 2-center, 2-quarterback system. Have Juergens and Kelsey on the field, have Willis and Jalen Hurts line up behind them, and we could just confuse the defense. Your thoughts, Mark?
Yeah, it's certainly something. I mean, I don't know. I had a joke about Matt Araiza. It didn't really make sense. That's it.
Coyle just said, "I can't wait to pick a kicker at 83." If we go and pick Matt Araiza at 83,
Matt Araiza
be an overdraft.
Cam Juergens.
I'd rather have Matt Araiza than Cam Juergens.
100% agree. Not even close. I had Matt Araiza ranked 101 though. So
Mark, I've made the comment. Every single player since the Cam Juergens pick, I've said I'd rather have him than Cam Juergens.
Yeah, I also have a sizable bet here on the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Timberwolves are just going on a huge run here. So this is just upsetting.
Oh no.
Ugh.
Travis Jones is falling.
Wow. I didn't even think about him. I don't have him that high on my list, but he was someone that I thought was going to go in like the top of the first, back of the second.
Yeah.
Rebecca says Jalen Hurts is active, but he's not accurate with his passing. Hopefully he can hit AJ. So I put out a thread on that today. Where AJ Brown really excels is over the middle of the field, a place that Jalen Hurts was notably awful last year. Not only did he avoid throwing over the middle of the field, when he did, it wasn't good. His completion percentage of throws 15-plus yards over the middle of the field was 29%. Which was 22 points below league average. So he's a great fit for the Eagles for that reason, I think. He's a different type of receiver than Devontae Smith. He's going to work different areas of the field. And at the end of this season, if Jalen Hurts still can't throw over the middle of the field, it's a Hurts issue. It's not a receiver issue. So it is going to help with that evaluation of Hurts, which is the most important thing for this season.
Coyle says Night of Nightmares. Rufus says, has Alec Lindstrom been drafted? I don't believe so.
No.
I don't think so, yeah. Where did I have Travis Jones?
The Ravens are taking Travis Jones.
No.
Are they?
Why?
That's funny.
Why does every good player just fall to the Ravens? Like, this is absolutely insane.
They're just so much better than everyone else.
I had that guy pegged as a near first-round pick.
I mean, I had him at 52, but to go get him in the 70s?
Really good selection. He's your, one of the best nose tackles in this draft. He's not going to give you much pass rush, kind of like Jordan Davis, but he's one of those high risers that he has a skill set, and he's done really well through the Senior Bowl, through the draft process. He's pretty much gone from like a day 3 guy to a legit borderline first-round pick. He got picked here in the 3rd round, but he's a big guy. When you watch him, like he's huge, absolutely huge. I don't know what – I'm not looking at his measurements right now, but like I remember just being in awe, like, how is that guy not a first-round pick? Like he kind of looks like that Jordan, not as big as Jordan Davis, but he just takes up space. He's a space eater.
So I had him 66th. I was definitely the lowest on him. And I guess this just means like you can tell that I have a type against that type of D tackle where you don't get a pass rush from them. So that's just kind of a lot of people. I'm being accused of this is a classic thing. My Eagles fan friends that think I just kill whatever the Eagles do because I'm just negative. where I loved the AJ Brown trade. I was like, guys, I said this about Jordan Davis on our defensive tackle podcast 2 months ago, and I said it on our big board podcast 2 weeks ago. This isn't, and a lot of people are like, oh, you just think that because they didn't draft Kyle Hamilton. And I do think that it has definitely enhanced my criticism of the pick because of trading a 4th and 2 5ths to make sure we didn't get Kyle Hamilton of all things. Like, that definitely changes how I evaluate the pick. But in terms of how I evaluate the player, it's not like an anti-Jordan Davis thing. I have Travis Jones 66th. I just don't. I don't think it's worth taking a strictly run defender all that high. But at this point, this is a lot different than taking a run defender at 13. So the Ravens had a need on the interior D line. They addressed their safety need. They addressed these other needs at center. And who was the other player that we liked that they drafted?
Ajabo.
Ajabo. Obviously, that's not a need, but that's a great value pick. Yeah, I mean, Travis Jones at this point is absolutely good value considering how many people are really high on him, like you guys.
The Ravens win the draft.
They're up there. What have the Giants done?
Holy crap! The Ravens have 6 picks in the 4th round.
Wow.
What?
110,
trade some, but
110, 119, 128, 130, 139, and 141. They have 6 4th round picks.
That's got to be a record. That's got to be
2 firsts.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool. I didn't know that. That's got to be some sort of record. I've never heard of that. 6?
So the Giants draft right now. Let's see. They took Kevon Thibodeau, Evan Neal, Wandel Robinson.
That's a reach. Yeah.
That was a terrible pick, in my opinion. And then they took Joshua Izudu, a guard from North Carolina. I have not heard of him.
Yeah, I haven't loved the day 2 picks. I like what they did on day 1 a lot. What has Detroit done?
For the Lions, or not for the Lions, I can pull them up here. For the Giants, if they just don't screw up the top 10 picks they get every year, that's a huge improvement. So
yeah.
The Giants and the Jaguars.
Oh, your boy.
Top 10.
Shane, your boy just went off the board.
Willis?
No, Bernard Raymond.
Oh, I'm going to talk about that. Oh, I clicked the Giants instead of the Lions. Hold on.
Yeah, what have they done on day 2?
They took
I didn't like that pick either.
Yeah, Joshua Pascal, and then they haven't picked again.
Yeah, I guess the Ravens are the winner then, because I think on radio today, the 2 teams that I praised were the Giants and the Lions, which is funny to say that I was praising the front offices of the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants, but they were the 2 guys. They're the 2 teams who I was giving the best grade to on day 1. By the way, I don't think we talked about it enough yesterday. I feel like we went past it, so this is like a big time rewind. I feel like I don't even remember Kenyon Green going 15th to the Texans. No one can convince me that happened. Like, my brain must have been on autopilot because of Jordan Davis just happening and AJ Brown was kind of tweaking at that time. But I don't remember that happening. And then I looked at it after the fact. That's a terrible pick.
You pieced out after the Jordan Davis pick. You were gone.
I came back for AJ Brown, but I think it was right around that time. So I think we just got so sidetracked with Brown that I didn't even realize what was going on with Green.
Mark and leaving our draft shows midstream. Name a more iconic duo.
That's my calling card.
I just put that video out right before we went live. It's out now, so you can see that.
What, of me reacting to Jordan Davis?
Oh,
I don't like seeing myself like that. That's why I leave. That's why I leave the draft. I don't like who I become when the Eagles make a pick I don't like.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
So I love this Bernard Raymond pick. I had him. Let me throw it back up here. I had him at number 38 on my big board. I had him as one of my top 12 prospects entering day 2. So for him to go off the board as late as he does at 77, and I was higher on him than you guys, but you guys both had him top 50. He goes at 77. He was the number 40 consensus player on our board. I think that's a great pick for the Colts. And, I mean, to be honest, Chris Ballard does a great job in the draft. He just can't ever figure out the quarterback position.
Yeah, imagine if Chris Ballard ever had first-round picks.
Yeah. Imagine if he had his first round pick this year.
Well, yeah, that was a terrible trade, but it seems like he never has a first round pick. He had that DeForest Buckner trade where he traded a first rounder. I think he had another trade where he traded a first rounder for another defensive player that I'm forgetting. Carson Wentz, obviously. Feels like they never have a first round pick.
Alex Wright is the pick for the Browns at 78.
It's a former WCW wrestler from the 1990s. Alex Wright.
I don't know who that is.
No,
I have no analysis.
None of us have him ranked.
Yeah, none of us have him ranked. I don't know who that is. Yeah, like I said, I know the name from professional wrestling. I don't know that name from draft prospects.
He has moved up the PFF board since I put our big board together because PFF has him at 83rd on their board, and I input their top 125, and he's not pulling up here. So they have moved him up. He earned a 91.1 pass rushing grade in 2021, according to them. All right, the Chargers are on the clock, then the Broncos, the Giants, the Falcons, and then the Eagles. So the Eagles are the Eagles are 5 picks out. Let's pick our 5 guys. Who's our consensus 5 we're after here? Malik Willis. You can't go Sean Ryan. You already took an offensive lineman. Tariq Woolen. Kirby Joseph.
I like all those guys. I gotta look at the big board.
Kobe Bryant.
Leo Chenal is still on there. I'm all in on Leo Chenal.
I'm surprised he hasn't been drafted, Leo Chenal.
Yeah, I'm all in on Greg Dulcich.
They could have taken Dylan Parham in the 3rd round, and he would have been better than Cam Jurgens. And he's the same. I mean, same role, same position. He's there.
This pick is 100% Zion McCollum. 100% Zion McCollum. I would be shocked if it isn't.
You think they'd take McCollum over Tariq Woolen?
I think Howie would, yeah.
So I'd say I'd go Willis. Chenal. I'd put him in there. Woolen. I'd be okay with Dulcich. I'd be okay with Tony Clark. Coyle says, Dean, I don't care about the surgery. I think there's other things going on. Honestly.
That is really sad. I Zion Johnson there. So the Chargers round 1, pick 17. I like Zion. Zion was my number 2 interior offensive lineman. Look, Shaquem Griffin is just rocking his outfit right now. So Gigi looks like that's the fashion brand.
Matt Lombardo.
He definitely wins the award of like fashionable.
Matt Lombardo just said, per league sources, there is a feeling inside the NFL that Nakobe Dean is looking at a redshirt year due to a pectoral tear and the meniscus in his knee.
Wow.
So that's not even related to the shoulder.
Howie.
Wow. I hadn't heard about this.
Be on the clock for undrafted free agent, man. Get him in Philly.
I think he'll get drafted.
You think so?
I think so. He was so good. That I would take him as a red shirt. He was so good.
Malik Willis right now.
Was Drake Jackson drafted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Check this out though. Somebody tweeted this, right? Malik Willis, who want me? No, 100%. Malik Willis retweeted it, laughing at it. That's hilarious, and that makes me want him even more.
That's funny. I like that self-awareness. That's funny.
Like the dude's literally on Twitter thought he might be a top 5, top 10 pick, and it's the 3rd round, and he hasn't been picked, and people are making fun of him, and he's sitting out here quote tweeting it and laughing at it. I love that mentality.
Well, what else is he doing right now? He's literally just sitting there.
The 5 guys, my top 5, if you take out Ryan, you take out David Bell, you take out DeMarvin Leal, you take out the positions we've accounted for so far, my top 5 remaining is Nakobe Dean. I would still put him at the top even with the injury. Carson Strong, the quarterback from Nevada. Obviously, I'm high on him, and I've taken him in the third round of every mock ever, so I would take him here. Malik Willis would be third. Tariq Woolen would be fourth, and Kirby Joseph, the safety out of Illinois, would be fifth for me. So I would definitely be pumped for any of those guys. And then you're looking at lower tier guys for me, like Matt Corral, Myjai Sanders, Kobe Bryant, Josh Jobe. That's definitely a tier below. I would really love Tariq Woolen here. Since Nakobe Dean probably feels pretty unlikely, and I don't know if they go QB, Tariq Woolen would be the name I'd love to hear.
Yeah, I would be on board with that. Bring me a corner or a linebacker. That's really what I want to see here. Well, I want to see Malik, but I'll take that off. Bring me a corner or a linebacker, and I'll be happy.
And Quentin Moore says how he's going to select a kicker. Add Matt Araiza to my list. If they take Matt Araiza, I will go and get a jersey.
All right. If you guys are still following along with us here as we tick down to the Eagles pick, drop a comment. Let us know who you want them to take. And you can give us other topics that you want to talk about. We did a tangent about dog movies earlier for some reason. So you never know what's going to happen. Drop it in the chat. Maybe we will surprise you.
By the way, Dibes, you probably don't know this because I know you're probably not looking at the Phillies. The Phillies are currently being no-hit going into the ninth inning.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's a collective no-hitter. It's a bullpen.
Oh, my God. No way.
Multiple pitchers have no-hit the Phillies. Yeah, there's one more inning. They're down 3-0.
I haven't even turned it on.
What an embarrassment. What an absolute, utter
This is
Philadelphia. Yeah.
This is I mean, yesterday was a solid like B+. This is a nightmare.
Yeah, today has been a terrible day in Philadelphia sports. Joel Embiid, Cam Jurgens, no hit Phillies. Like that's
Quinn says bunt.
Oh my God.
We've been talking about sad dog movies. This is how bad this has been.
I'm seeing the dog movie tomorrow.
What are you seeing? Oh, I heard it's really good.
I'm going to a drive-in near where I went to college. And it's a Channing Tatum double feature, which is kind of funny.
What? Where are you going to do that?
No, it's Becky's Drive-In. It's by Kutztown where I went to college. But
Nicole went to Kutztown. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, I love Kutztown. But
I used to go there all the time. She was in college when we first started dating.
It's a fun town, man. It's a really fun town. Becky's Drive-In though, it's a really cool drive-in. It's like it's a weird thing for me to talk about drive-in theaters, but I think they're pretty cool. You go and I don't know, but you see two movies and it's like $10 and you drive in there and it's what's the one, the Lost City. I think Harry Potter's in it. Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, Brad Pitt. And the dog movie second.
All right. I like for real talk. Ready, Mark?
Yeah.
Oh, what was the name of that diner in Kutztown? It was a hole in the wall.
Airport Diner.
No.
Letterman's Diner.
Letterman's Diner. Have you been there?
Yeah. So I worked at a bar in Kutztown. Yeah, Letterman's Diner is really good. But I worked at a bar in Kutztown, and that guy is a crazy person. The guy who owns Letterman's Diner used to come to the bar like after he closed down and just like blow all of his money that he made at the diner and like get drunk and yell at people at the bar that I worked at. So
oh my God.
Once I knew who he was, I never really wanted to go back to the diner because I knew it would be like an awkward interaction.
So that place was like famous for like we would like go out on like a Saturday night, go there on a Sunday, and that place was like a man versus food type of diner where like they give you like giant plates of food, like amazing, like huge servings.
Yeah, huge servings. Yeah, I was more of an airport diner guy myself, but Letterman's, they gave you so much food. It was a little expensive, especially I was a college kid when I was there. So
I didn't know you went to Kutztown. That's so funny. Like I remember. Anyway, we could save that conversation.
Yeah.
The Eagles are on the clock.
What?
Greg Dulcich at 80 to the Broncos, and I don't know who the 81 and 82 picks were, but supposedly the Eagles are on the clock right now.
Quentin says Tatum's White House Down was nice. That was a good movie. I enjoyed that. The best movie is him and what was that comedy by far is
21 Jump Street.
by far the funniest. That
Great.
is so funny.
That movie holds up too. I saw it pretty recently.
Oh, it's terrific. Jimmy says, guys, they made us watch a dog movie on a field trip charter bus to Gettysburg in the 4th grade. This is the first time I cried in a bus restroom. You can't find this content anywhere else. Only here at the Painted Lines, man. That's funny as shit, man. By the way,
At right now,
where are we going here?
what's going on? I feel like the draft is stalled.
Yeah,
Cordell Flott, safety out of LSU to the Giants at 81. D'Angelo Malone, the edge out of Western Kentucky to the Falcons at 82. The Eagles are on the clock.
That's funny. D'Angelo Malone visited with the Eagles.
I'm about to visit with the Eagles too if they don't take Malik Willis.
Oh man. It's been a long night.
Oh, come on.
Is there any update on Joel Embiid? Do we know anything more, Mark? Because I haven't been on social media at all.
The street closed. There's a doctor that said it was his opposite eye. It was the other eye that he broke 4 years ago. It's not the same eye, so that's good. But they said it can be anywhere from like 6 to 22 days, so they have no idea.
Jesus Christ, man!
And he's probably missing games no matter what.
He's probably gonna have a face mask again. They're bringing back the face mask.
Coyle says the Eagles will trade back because they hate us. They want to make us stay up later. Rufus says, dude, how does this channel not have more subscribers? Y'all are so knowledgeable and fun to watch. Thank you. We really appreciate that. All three of us, the draft is like one of our favorite things. So we do appreciate you guys hanging out with us. It definitely makes it a lot more fun for us.
Quick plug. Tiago and I have lined out our NBA draft coverage. So that is literally starting like next week.
And another quick plug. I'll be doing a way too long 3-hour radio show tomorrow morning.
Oh my God! Wow, what?
I think I'm just gonna talk about the draft for 3 hours. There's no basketball games tomorrow. There's no hockey games tomorrow. I'm sure I'll talk a little like baseball gambling. But yeah. I'm sure it'll mostly be an NFL draft reaction show, which is funny because it's supposed to be a gambling show. But you can follow my radio show at FoxPHL Gambler on Twitter, and you can follow me on Twitter at Mark Henry Jr. _. But that show is on iHeartRadio on Fox Sports PHL Gambler from 11 to 2 tomorrow. So tune into that.
You guys are about to be very happy.
Mark, you are so good at what you do, man. You really should be proud. Really should be proud.
Is it Nakobe? Is it Tariq? Nakobe Dean!
Nakobe Dean!
Nakobe Dean!
Yes!
That's unbelievable!
Howie, no, I'm not going to say it. I was about to say you redeem yourself. I'm not going to say that.
I've often said Howie is the best GM in the NFL.
You've totally redeemed yourself. I don't care if it's a red shirt. Sit him 2 years. Well, I'll wait 2 years for a linebacker.
I mean, I was ready to do the same thing with the Jabbo, so.
Yeah, I had Dean ranked higher than Ajabo, but Dean he was the best player on the best defense I've ever seen in college football last year on Georgia. People can talk about the 5 guys who went in the first round. Nakobe Dean was the lifeblood and the heart of that defense. We have not had a linebacker as good as Nakobe Dean since who? Since who? Yeah, I turned my camera back on.
Mark, looking good there. I missed you.
I liked having you guys just like I was on like a conference call. That was pretty cool having this like the TPL logo up there. I like that, but I had to turn the logo back on. I'm smiling. I haven't smiled since we picked it up.
Same here. We've been talking about fucking dog stories. Sad dog stories. That's how bad this has been. All right, Shane, do you have a video on Nakobe Dean?
I do. I can play it here.
All right, man. I like this pick. I don't give a shit about next year or not. The Eagles needed to make a move. The Eagles are about to make the selection. Let's go!
The number 5 guy on the board is Nakobe Dean, the linebacker out of Georgia. He was number 25 on my big board. He fell out of the first round. Dean has great range in the passing game. He can cover anybody, and he's got a quick trigger downfield in the running game. So quick processor, elite athleticism. He's a really good blitzer. He totaled 23 pressures to go along with his 6 sacks at Georgia last year. And then in space, he's a good tackler, which is always going to be important for your linebackers. The biggest issue for Dean and why he fell out of the first round is his size. He is undersized, and I think there's concerns about him being able to cover tight ends at the next level and being a liability in the run game. Now at Georgia, that wasn't the case, but he played behind an elite Georgia defensive line that saw, Trevon Walker go number 1 overall, Jordan Davis at 13, Devontae Wyatt. All 3 of these guys going in the first round. Quay Walker also went in the first round. So he played with a stacked front 7 that was able to keep him clean in the run game. That's likely not going to happen at the next level. So his projection in run defense is questionable. I think he would be a great fit at 47 overall to the Washington Commanders. Their first round pick a year ago, Jamin Davis. Okay, we don't need to hear about that. We don't need to hear about him going to the Commanders. So have you ever wondered what would happen if Davion Taylor was a good football player? Because that's Nakobe Dean. He's got that athleticism, but he actually knows how to play football. And maybe the run defending is a concern for him. But guess what? The Eagles just took a monster in the first round in Jordan Davis. And so he can hide that. I love the pick. I love stacking those teammates there together. And like Mark said, I'll wait 2 years. I've been waiting a decade. I've been waiting my whole life for a good linebacker. So I'm stoked. If Nakobe Dean has to sit out his entire rookie contract before he's able to play, it's still a great pick.
Yeah, I'll give him $50 million. Play no games. I'll give you a full contract, Nakobe. Just play linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles at some point. We have not had a guy who can do the things he can do at that position since Jeremiah Trotter. I don't know who else I can even say. Who's the best linebacker we've had since Trotter?
Inside. Stuart Bradley?
Yeah, I think he's better than Stuart Bradley. I think.
Yeah. Here's the question. If we took Nakobe Dean at 51 and we took the Jerky Boy at 83, would you be happy?
I'm happy now.
Fine with it.
I'm happy now.
I would.
So, I'm a little nervous about these question marks on Nakobe Dean. I got to figure out what is happening going on right now.
Yeah, you know what? I'm fine with it. I'm fine. I think all the question marks are medical, so we're not going to find out anything other than what the Eagles tell us, which is going to be nothing. So I'm fine taking the chance. Like I said, that guy could have a torn meniscus. He could have a torn pec for all I know. I'll wait all year. I don't think that there's any question marks about everything I've heard about him as a guy is that he's everything you want in a leader on your defense and everything you want in the locker room. And then there's no concerns for me on the field. I think it's just all injuries. I really think that people were I think that people didn't know about these injuries. But that's an incredible pick. People are going to say whatever they want to say about this. We just got a better football player in the third than we got in the first round. I mean, I fully feel that way.
That's blatantly not true.
I had him ranked. I had him ranked higher than him way before the draft. I had him ranked multiple spots higher than him. I feel extremely confident in saying that. And anyone who watched Georgia's defense would tell you Nakobe Dean was better on Georgia last year. I don't really think there's any argument there. But I get Jordan Davis's traits, yada yada yada. That's the best pick that the Eagles made in the draft. The best player they got in their draft, in my opinion. And this isn't revisionist history. This is my rankings from before the draft. Nakobe Dean was my 15th best player in the draft, and they just got him at 83. So I feel fantastic, fellas. I couldn't be happy.
We need to grade day 2 here, but I agree, Mark. This was a move that makes me feel better because a lot of this draft was a lot of sadness with not just Eagles content. So for me, I would grade this a solid B+. Solid B+. I think the Eagles are going to get a difference maker at that position that they haven't seen in a long time, just like Mark broke down there. So this guy can do it all, man. He can get to the quarterback. He had 31 pressures last year. He can. So I really think this is a really good pick. And I love the concept of doubling down on Georgia defensive players all day, baby, all day.
So Brandon Thorne I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Brandon Thorne, he does Trench Warfare. Incredible follow if you want to learn about offensive line. You can go subscribe to his email list. He puts out free content and paid content. Great teacher of the game. He just put out a tweet that said the Eagles draft and the Ravens drafts are greater than all else. And so I'm about to quote tweet his highlight reel for Cam Jurgens. You guys can check out. But he's apparently pretty high on the pick. He said that when he watches Jurgens, Jason Kelsey was the first place his thought went, and that was before the Eagles drafted him. So giving you a little bit of context there with him. Nakobe Dean, that's an A-plus pick for me. I mean, at this point, I don't care what the medicals are. It's worth the risk. Like, the guy should have gone in the first round. You're getting him in the third round. If he plays one game and blows up his knee and never plays again, it was still worth the risk you took at pick 83 to go get this guy.
100%. 100%,
Yeah.
man.
It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. Howie, you son of a bitch, Howie. I can't believe you pulled this off. It really is the Dumb and Dumber gif. I just tweeted it out, but
Yeah, me too.
just when I think you couldn't get any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself. And that's where I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave off here, fellas. I'm gonna go celebrate. I'm gonna say A-. Taking the Kobe Dean because I value mid-round picks a little less than I think a lot of other people do. I only value them when you can take a guy like Nakobe Dean, but when you take a guy like Cam Jurgens, if that happened in the fourth round, I probably wouldn't even really bat an eye. And like you guys said, if they took Dean at 51 and took Jurgens at 83, it would feel different. I'm trying to feel the same way I would feel as if that would have happened. And if that would have happened, if they would have taken Dean at 51, I think we would have felt like it was house money going into 83. Like, I don't think we would have been like, oh, we need this. We need this player. I think we'd have been like, you know what? We're feeling pretty good with Davis, Brown, and Dean.
Oh.
So the Phillies did no hit. The Phillies did officially get no hit.
Real quick question. Do you think Nakobe Dean will get more snaps than Temple legend Sean Bradley?
I don't know. If he's healthy, I think he'll get more snaps than Jordan Davis. But I don't. If he's healthy, if Nakobe Dean's healthy at any point in this season, he should be getting like what, Shane? Shane's a better percentage snap guy than me. What percentage of snaps should Nakobe Dean be getting on this defense if he's healthy? 150?
Yeah, I mean, if he's healthy and you're not concerned about wear and tear, he should never come off the field. Like,
yeah.
He's better than Kazir White. I mean, he's your best linebacker. So
by far, it's not even close. I was joking about Sean
DeMarvin Leal just went to the Steelers right behind us. Who's another guy we've mentioned quite a bit.
Steelers love taking like good
guys
prospects right after the Eagles pick. Yeah.
They love taking guys Mark likes. They took Kenny Pickett, George Pickens, and DeMarvin Leal, the three guys that I'm like markedly higher on anyone else. Mike J, I can't wait till Jordan Davis makes the Pro Bowl every year, ... so Mark can eat crow. I would love that too. I am a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but I think that he might make the Pro Bowl. I mean, Vita Vea.
I don't think Jordan Davis will make the Pro Bowl. He's not going to get you a bunch of sacks. So
yeah, we have a good fan base for voting, but Vita Vea.
Oh yeah, that's true. Pro Bowl, not all pro. Pro Bowl is a joke. So yeah, he might make the Pro Bowl.
He said Pro Bowl. So Vita Vea probably has made a couple Pro Bowls. He could absolutely be Vita Vea. I don't think he's as good as a prospect as Vita Vea was. Whatever. I don't want to do the Jordan Davis thing that much. And again, this guy's saying, Malik went to Tennessee. That's awesome.
Did he go? Throw us off the board.
Love it.
That's awesome. I'm so happy for that. Dude, they should start Malik Willis like halfway through the year. Just run a full option offense of Malik Willis and Derrick Henry. Just run the ball 80 times per game.
I'm in. That'd be fun to watch.
They traded up to get.
It'd be a disaster. It'd probably be fun to watch though.
Just don't let him throw the ball.
They traded up to get him too. All right, my phone's about to die here, fellas. I gotta hop off. A-, and Nakobe Dean, Philly. There we go.
Love it. All right, Shane, we wrapping this up?
I'm hyped now. Malik Willis went.
Let's wrap this up, man. It's time to go.
Hold on.
Okay.
Cowboys picking 2 picks. Let's see what they do. We'll talk and kind of wrap up and see what the Cowboys do, and then we'll get out of here.
All right, sounds good.
For you guys here in the chat, since we're plugging things, go check out Chalk Talk. Dives, Mark, and I went through rankings for every position group. So if you want to double check what we're saying now, you can go back and you can see that Mark was very anti-Jordan Davis, and I was very pro-Jordan Davis months before the Eagles took him. You can check all that stuff out. I'm about to go on vacation in a week and a half, but once I get back, I'm going to start breaking down drafts by division, giving grades and all that sort of stuff. Going to start putting out some YouTube football content, teaching coverage shells and things like that. So if you want to understand what you're watching better on Sundays, be sure and check those out, and I'll be tweeting out links to those. Give me a follow on Twitter at @halfandhalf_TPL. And of course, be sure you're following Dives at Mr. Crockpot and the Painted Lines.
No, you don't want to do that. I'm watching
Malik Willis says Juergens was not on any Chalk Talks. He was not.
No, I'm watching Malik Willis get emotional at like a bar right now. This is really cool. This is one of my favorite moments of the NFL draft. This is my sports fandom right here. I live in a bubble with sports. It's literally like Sixers, Eagles, then it's NFL draft, NBA draft, and then it's like Marvel and Star Wars and DC movies and TV shows. And then it's like Flyers and then like general sports. So like I live in this weird bubble where the NFL draft and the NBA draft take precedent, man. I love seeing these reactions like this, man. I live for this. This is like the best. Malik Willis getting emotional and things like that is, and then I love follow them wherever they go. It's my favorite.
Yeah, Malik Willis if you've heard him talk, if you've seen his interviews and stuff, I mean, even him quote tweeting the guy making fun of, the meme making fun of him not getting picked. Like, I love that stuff. He's a fun guy to root for. I'll definitely be pulling for him in Tennessee.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Benjamin Solak said Malik Willis, Treylon Burks, and Derrick Henry. I would not like to be a defender trying to tackle the Titans.
No, man, they're fast. They'll punish you, man, at the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
Anyway,
Cowboys are taking too long. The Cardinals pick is in. The Cowboys haven't picked yet. Oh, well, we'll talk about it later. I will have an article coming up tomorrow grading the day 2 draft picks for the Eagles and looking ahead to day 3 stuff, so you guys can keep an eye for that. I will not have a video coming out. I don't have time to get all that stuff.
I will. I will definitely be happy.
Dives will take care of the videos. I'll have an article coming out tomorrow morning for you guys, so be sure you check that out.
I have Eagles videos prepped. I think I dropped 10 Sixers videos today, and it took me all day. And I was planning on doing a bunch of different things for the Eagles today. I just didn't have time with like 0 sleep last night, but I have it all prepped. I just got to put it together. So expect a lot of videos tomorrow and Sunday.
And we will not have a day 3 draft show. So if you're looking for us, we're not going to be online. I got to take my kids to the park or something for the sake of my marriage. I better not be on.
Right there. My wife was so mad today. This is like the extent of my streaming. I'm not doing any streaming tomorrow and Sunday. None.
Yeah. But I would hazard a guess we will be back next week to do some sort of podcast or stream kind of breaking down all of the draft stuff. So yeah. You guys check that out. Rufus says he's going to get a Willis jersey.
Wow, I love it.
Quentin says, thanks, TPL. Fun stuff. Rufus says, thanks for another great show, guys. Have a great weekend. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you for joining in with us. You guys are what makes this so much fun, so we appreciate you all being here. And we are going to sign off here, and I guess we will see you guys next time.
Am I supposed to hit end broadcast?